They haven't kicked in the door yet, so I guess we ain't really went hard enough, but we might shake it up a little bit today.
Still here.
We missing somebody this week. We're missing Trey. You know what I'm saying? He'll be back with us next show. But yeah, man, we ready to get this thing rocking, man. Anybody had anything to go over this week? What's going on? Anybody had any? No. Oh, my man Will got in here on a broke leg. Got a walker.
Dedication.
That's dedication, man. Nigga came up here on a walker.
Looking like an old paraplegic or some shit.
What happened, man?
Damn it. Oh man, I had to lay the motorcycle down. The bike is fine. I just broke the kneecap in 3 places, but I'm good. I'll be dancing again in 8 weeks. Yeah. And riding again.
Motherfucker out there willying and shit.
You know, that was one of the things. So everybody, the first thing people, I know you're not gonna ride again. I'm like, when you have a car accident, do people tell you, oh no, don't drive again? Right. You know, no. I said, whatever happened to the express? You know, it's like riding a bike. You fall off, you jump back on. I mean, stuff happens.
Right.
That's my therapy. It's what I love to do.
Right.
I got young kids, so I'm very safe. I had all my gear on, thank God.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't have no toes right now on one foot. But I mean, it's good. Life happens. You know, you can't get in no shell and you just keep rolling. But I'm committed. You know, as long as I can move and I can speak, I'm going to be here with my brothers.
Already, man.
Man, it's good being back, though. I was gone last show, man. Y'all niggas, man, got to really go out there. Have any of y'all been to Atlanta?
Oh, bro. Yes.
Hey, that's my third home, you know. I go to Atlanta 3 times a year.
Y'all know me, man. I'm a eating nigga, man. So I always got to give a shout out to a food spot, nigga.
Food spot.
And I like nature, nigga. So it's a couple spots I got to give a shout out to in Atlanta, nigga. Y'all have to go over there to Mary's Tea Room.
Yeah.
It's a little soul food spot, nigga. That shit so fucking good, nigga. I ate smothered chicken with rice, black-eyed peas, macaroni and cheese, turnip greens.
Lock all your bottles up.
Nigga, I drank 3 glasses, 3 large glasses of lemonade, a big-ass container of peach cobbler, nigga, and I want to apologize to the city of Atlanta's water board for clogging up their system.
Damn it.
Cause nigga,
what was the price on it though? That's where it
I don't even remember. I was on vacation, nigga. You don't check the price when you're out there, nigga.
Shit, I'm gonna
say it again, bro.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You just go kick it, nigga.
Goddamn, I gotta get back home, so I gotta check the price, bro.
And let me tell y'all this. Don't fuck with that fucking, what's the name of that strip club out there everybody talk about? It's
Magic
not King
City.
Man, it's trash. Trash. Magic City is trash.
Damn.
It has nothing on DGs in Dallas. And y'all know me. Is
that a stamp of unapproval?
Dog.
Hold on.
You know I don't give.
Huh? Got some controversy.
Motherfucking bring back exposes, goddamn it, Dallas.
Exposing?
Doing like that, goddamn it.
Hey, they got
I need my chicken wings.
Yeah.
You understand me?
Bring on it.
I need my Ciroc.
There it is.
Bring back exposure.
There it is. Free Ciroc to what, 12 o'clock?
God damn it.
Dallas, I'll say this. Dallas probably has some of the best strip clubs I have seen in my travels.
Hey,
and that's no lie.
Hey, you know they opened up the King of Diamonds in Dallas, huh?
For real?
Yeah, King of Diamonds, KOD Dallas, baby.
They ain't gonna, I gotta see
butt naked, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
I gotta see it to see if they got anything on Ecstasy and DGs. Ecstasy and DGs is staples.
I'm not fucking with Onyx no more because y'all know how to treat niggas when they come to the devil.
What they do, dog?
Man, look, bring back exposure. That's all I'm gonna say.
Man, every time I've ever been in a strip club in Dallas, they show love, man. I got love for Dallas strip clubs. That's why I stay the hell out of them, because every time I go in there, I spend about $500 and walk out mad at the motherfucker. I'd rather go to the casino.
There you go.
I ain't gonna do that no more. No more.
I can't do the strip clubs.
Shit, I'm a motherfucking $2 Tuesday nigga right here. Shit, every Tuesday, guys, damn me, I was in that bitch pulling up. Now, I done slowed down. You know, I done mashed the brakes with guys. Now, ain't nothing like shooting that shit, watching the naked bitch, and paying $10 and walking out that bitch loaded. You know what I'm saying? I told you, I watched them numbers, baby. Look here. Say, baby, yeah, I would appreciate a dance. I'll catch you next time.
Oh, yeah, and another thing y'all need to see in Atlanta and take y'all kids, I don't know if y'all have ever been, is that Georgia Aquarium.
The aquarium.
Oh my
man.
God.
It's better than the one here?
Dog, it's better than any aquarium I've ever been in, yo.
Is that cold?
And I love fish. I grew up on aquariums. Like you know, when you go to like Cinemax or Cinemark or what's the name of that
IMAX.
big IMAX? You know how that big screen is, how big that screen is? Take 2 of those, and that's the window for the aquarium.
Damn it.
Dog, they got shark whales, dog. Like 70-foot whales swimming in that mug, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. Go. Take your kids to that, yo. Take your kids to that.
Speaking of kids in Atlanta, make sure that you go to the designated tourist attractions, or your kids are going to see some other things that you're going to be explaining a whole lot about later.
Straight up.
The dark side.
I just can't. I
Straight
can't.
up.
You know, I go because that's where my woman is from and everything.
Is it really as bad as they say?
Dog, yes.
Man, listen, I took my kids.
The dark side.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Dog,
go. I take my kids bowling. I figured it's safe, right?
Yeah.
Bowling. Go in, slide, everything cool. Get to the counter. This white dude turn around with titties, dog, and a beard.
Yeah. You'll see that out there.
I'm talking about red beard and titties, and I'm like, shoulders looking like with titties, and I'm looking, come on, man.
And if they're not like
Fingernail spinning
transgender
stuff.
types, they're very like openly, feminine dudes. You know what I'm saying? They just real like women like, you know what
I
I'm
just
saying?
can't do it because for a couple of days I'm good. You know what I'm saying, on the going out, because after that, I be exhausted. Because I'm watching everything. I'm watching these broads that might be dudes, that might be women, that might think they broads. Dudes that want to be, I don't know what nobody is or nothing except for who I came with. I ain't trusting shit else.
And that's my problem. And we talked about it on the last show. Look here, man, I don't give a fuck if you gay or not. You know what I mean? Just don't try to pull the sheep off my eyes and try to look like a broad when you a dude. If you a motherfucker if you a nigga that like niggas, be a nigga that like niggas. If you a broad that like broads, be a broad that like broad. But don't be a broad that dress like a nigga that like bitches. What the fuck? You know what I mean? Get your mind.
Hold on, look. That's like, I just
damn.
told the chick, I say, this the bad part. When you go to Atlanta, for a woman that dates a man in Atlanta, there's a 78% chance that she fooling with a dude that's been fooled with a dude. So her conversation got to be like, so am I the only one at the table that enjoys sucking dick?
They got a marker out there.
They got a marker.
They got a marker. When you go downtown,
What's the marker?
No, real talk. They got a marker downtown Atlanta, and on the top of it says 30,935 plus people are infected with AIDS and HIV in Atlanta.
And the number is growing.
Yeah. Plus, it's
So
a
that
plus
means like
next to that.
1 in 5, maybe 2 in 5, you got a chance of running somebody that's hot.
Now take all that into perspective when you really think about it. If everybody recalls, I'm just knocking back about anywhere from 15 to 20 years.
But
Everybody wanted to go to Atlanta. Freaknik was the shit.
How quickly? 20 plus years back. All right.
How quickly?
Yeah, that is about 20. Yeah.
How quickly it changed from being a place where you want to go watch some ass to a place, and maybe not watch ass. I have my wife watching this show. To a place where you want to go see people who actually enjoy themselves, having good time too. Going to a place where you can't tell a fucking difference. I got plenty of family down there, so when I get down there, I get to actually see the people, enjoy themselves, and they tell you to watch out for. But to the novice that don't know the spots or has nobody to show them where to go and what to look out for,
Gotta be careful.
you better take your time. And that's anywhere. That's even in Dallas. I hate
That's
to
why
say
they
it.
call it Hot Atlanta now.
But that's everyone, you know what I mean? But the biggest thing, I'm just talking about that progression in 20 years, you know what I mean? It's like, damn, you gotta watch how society is changing shit around, you know, and you gotta be mindful and keep your head on the swivel. Gosh damn, because this shit's ridiculous, man.
I wonder how that shit got like that in Atlanta though, man. Like, how did that become like the, you know, it's a lot of black folks in Atlanta, and San Francisco has always been considered like the gay city.
And I hear Frisco booming now though.
And then
San
all of a
Francisco
sudden
was the acceptable openness
right.
for gay.
But now Atlanta has become like the black homosexual capital.
I think it's probably always been like that. It's just that now it's more acceptable.
No.
I think they just out
that's
with
where,
it.
that's where Martin Luther King from.
But see, that's the difference
King
for me.
from out there.
Jay,
Hey, what the
this is the difference.
Don't say that about King on the mic, dog. It's too early for that show.
Right.
It's too early for that show.
This is the thing. Back in the day, you know, gay was just that one. They were gay. You know what I'm saying? It's this whole flamboyant, twisted up, turned out, and fucked up thing that's going on now. Like I said, you know, two dudes were gay, but they look like dudes.
Yeah.
They were just gay. You could tell they were happy.
Right.
You know, hi, hello, how are you?
Right.
You know,
Right.
it was like that. Now, you got 15-year-old dudes walking around in spandex and glitter gym shoes and
0
you
to
know,
100
and
real
want
quick.
to act
Man.
more feminine than women are.
Well, it's even deeper than that, bro. You know what I mean? Because I remember growing up in the North, you know what I mean? When you're in the North and you're talking about migrating to the South, it's only one city that came up. You move into Atlanta. Now, it's like, excuse me, clearing my throat, but it's like, do I really want to go to Atlanta? You know what I mean? I remember one time when Charles Dutt was on Minister Society, you know what I mean? I think they was trying to get... Jada Pinkett was trying to get Trey to move to Atlanta with her and shit. She's like, you coming to Atlanta with me? Guys, now it's like, I can imagine what damn Trey would be saying nowadays. I can't be fucking with no niggas out there, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a whole different world. And more love to Atlanta. I'm not saying that everybody's out there like that, but I'm just saying those that are, be what you are, you know what I mean? Don't try to fool the public, you know what I mean? That trans, it really concerns me when you start talking about transgender as opposed to gay. If you gay, be gay. But transgender, you know what I mean? That's conscious decision that you're trying to change something that God gave you. You know, you can like whoever. Yeah, you can like whoever you want to. I don't care about that, but don't try to fool me. You know what I mean? Hey, and I want to touch on as we on that subject. I want to touch on this St. Patty's Day. Today's St. Patty's Day. Everybody got on green.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, waiting on that, Blair. Oh, waiting on it.
All right, man.
Let's
Let's keep it moving, man. Let's go into the news. What you got for us this week, Ivan?
Man, we got a couple little stories here, man.
A lot of shit done went down.
Man, something that I shared with y'all fellas, I thought I'd announce it on the show, man. There's a male birth control shot that's coming out.
Oh, man,
for
come
us.
on.
You know what I'm saying? All the niggas that like going raw, dog. Now that we on it, you know what I'm saying? You like going raw, dog. You
Niggas
like
about
not
to be
wearing
burning.
condom. You like getting the full feel. You don't have to wear rubber no more. You can just get you a shot. Right now it's 96% effective. It hasn't been cleared by the FDA yet. It lowers your sperm count, and supposedly it's supposedly going to be effective, and it will not make you sterile. Now,
Lies and garbage.
who knows what the, you know, you might end up being a zombie or something, you know, down the line.
They're going to wake up with antelope
You know what I'm
feet.
saying?
You never want to be the first person to sign up for no shit
Yeah, I'm
like
not
that,
signing
man.
up for that.
Because you don't know what the effects will be down the line.
Hold on,
And
bro.
on a deeper tip, we could kind of look at that as a way of the government trying to sterilize black men out here.
Already.
Oh yeah, because
You
you
know
know
what I'm
we
saying?
signing up.
Well, hold on.
Right.
You
Hold
know
on,
we
wait.
signing up.
This is the thing, though. Okay, so you can go raw, dog. Why do you think somebody's encouraging you to be able to go raw? So you can
These
get
women
burnt.
want niggas. These
So
women
you
don't
get-
mind niggas going raw.
But I'm saying, so you can get burnt. At least with a condom, you got a chance of saving your life.
The women
You
don't
stick
care,
that soldier
dog.
out there without a helmet on, he's gonna get his top peeled back.
0 to 100 real quick.
I mean, damn. Look how the brainwash go. At first they was like, hey, listen,
I'ma tell
wear
you.
a condom. It's not 100%, but at least 98% you
The
mind.
niggas
You
that's gonna
won't
be
get
taking
burnt.
the shot first is the celebrities, Them rappers,
True
them
that.
singers,
True.
them sports figures.
True.
They gonna take them shots first. Because them women, they take them condoms, they put them holes in the memory figures, they tear them open, they take and plunge them out of the toilets and pull them out the trash, and they take them turkey bases and suck the semen out and put it in themselves so they can get pregnant by them niggas.
Fuck.
And that's the hardcore truth. I'm being real on the mic.
That's that Mary Jane
That's
shit.
what they do.
Why they do it though?
So they can get that damn check. And we
So-
don't fall into that later in the show. I'm gonna save it for the show. But that's what they do.
Okay.
These women getting paid $10,000 a month, some of them, for
Don't
child
keep
support.
a nigga, baby.
For 18 years, and then if your kid go to college, let me stop. We going to the show. Let me
We'll
not,
get to that.
We ain't gonna cut into the turkey yet.
what's next
Let's
in the
stick with
news?
it appetizing. Detroit, my hometown. Currently, there are over 515,000 people without power.
I thought you was about to say as the population.
That's damn near the whole population of my city, though. 515,000 people
I love you,
without
Detroit.
power. This is the fourth day that this has happened. 90% of residents are currently without power.
Damn.
90%.
Why?
Just recently in the city. Now, I want y'all to realize, just recently in the city, not too long ago, a few months back, they had an issue with the water. Because
Right.
there was some sewage that was getting dumped into Lake St. Clair. Now, I want y'all to understand where the city of Detroit is located. The city of Detroit is located on a major river. The Detroit River, all of the Great Lakes are around that area. That's a wealthy city. Also, there's salt mines underneath the city. So you got a lot of wealth that's in that city. You got casinos in that city. You got the manufacturing industry in that city. So when you do these types of things, you're causing the residents to want to leave. So when the residents of the city leave, you can move into the parts that these individuals have left, and you can buy the properties at cheap. You can buy them at a bargain. That's why they got a lot of houses that were selling not long ago, and even today for anywhere from $1 to $5,000. And you can get a whole house. You can get land out there. There's land that's just empty out there. So what they do is you get all of these wealthy individuals, a lot of the Asians and the Arabs, they're moving out there and they're buying the land because they know that the prices are going to eventually increase when you start to have gentrification and individuals moving out to those areas in order to reestablish them.
It's lakefront property.
Lakefront.
And that's not their first time pulling that stunt.
Oh, at
Shout
all.
out everybody in New Orleans that went through
They
the whole
did
Katrina.
that out there. I was just about to say that.
You know, it's not their first time making that move.
So
you
you
know?
mean that it really was not a tsunami?
Fucks no.
Oh my God!
So were you
Enlighten
down
me, my
there
brother.
when all that stuff went down?
I was down at home for Katrina.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was able to make it down to the bayou where my parents are from, Thibodaux, Louisiana. Shout out. You know, but to see what happened in New Orleans and how they played it, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Basically, what they did is what I feel and others feel down there. They caused those levees to break. You understand me?
Mm-hmm.
Now you tell me how a storm of that size and that magnitude is going to hit the city of New Orleans, but downtown New Orleans don't get touched.
Yep.
But you got all these other people displaced and put in all these different areas and whatnot, and they can't make it back to their homes, their property that they had for years, and their family.
Yep.
Hey man,
I heard them wealthy white folks that went out there and they turned that whole area around after all them buildings and houses got demolished, though.
it's all part of their game, man. At the end of the day,
And just to make it clear, there's nothing wrong with buying back your community. If it's a bunch of houses in a distressed neighborhood, there's nothing wrong with going in, buying those houses, and fixing them up. But the difference is they price out the average person. They make it where the people who used to live there in that community can no longer afford it. That's the whole gentrification process.
Because thinking of San Francisco, that's exactly what's happening in San Francisco as well. Because right now, San Francisco is becoming the tech mecca. It's moved from Silicon Valley to San Francisco. So they're moving out a lot of free spirit and a lot of free will people, and they're buying out that land and overpricing it for the people that previously lived there, where they no longer can afford the accommodations of the area in which they were raised as well as their parents. So you just got to be careful of so-called advancement in the community.
Yeah, land is wealth, man. That's something people don't understand. Even if you don't have a structure on a property, but if you got a piece of land, that's establishing wealth, because that piece of land, it may fluctuate in value up and down like any investment. However, land is an actual hard asset, and it's always going to be something that is going to end up being developed on that piece of land. I mean, anybody that's out here in Texas, over there in Denton, when you go from Denton down to Plano, what's that highway, 380, 360?
380.
380. I remember when I first moved out here in 2004 and I was going down 380 from Denton to Plano, it was just a highway and it was farms, and I almost hit a horse because some horses got loose all out of the ranch, and I had to swerve to prevent hitting from some horses. And I couldn't see the damn horses because the sun was shining in my face as I was going east. Okay? Now, mind you, you go on in that same area today, it's nothing but small shopping centers and houses now. And this is a matter of what's that, 12, 13 years later? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It's happening quicker than that in some places.
Within 13 years, you have acres of land that now are fully developed with houses and subdivisions. So if you have a piece of land, it's imperative that you understand that you are holding wealth and you need to hold on to that and you need to maintain that. And the problem with black folks, and I've been guilty of this, is that our parents and grandparents have had houses and land and all of this other stuff, and we've allowed that to slip through our hands. It's imperative that we get together as families and understand we need to hold on to that. Whatever we need to do to hold on to that, we need to hold on to that with all of our power. You go down there to, Oak Cliff? Mm-hmm. They got an area out there now, they done made it ritzy. They call it, what's the name of it? Bishop Arts now. Right. Mm-hmm. They down there in South Dallas. They got land out there in South Dallas over there near the fairgrounds. Yep. Now they turning that out. You dig? You have to hold your land. You have to. But, we going to get into that in the show, man. I'm about to get into the turkey. Let's stick with the appetizer.
What's next on that?
Here's another one. What's up with your boy Colin Kaepernick, yo? Y'all heard about that nigga?
Nah, what's up? What's up?
So, your man's, he was taking the knee for the Pledge of Allegiance, right? For the anthem or whatever, right? He was taking the knee. Now he's saying he's gonna stand now. His contract is up.
So is he selling out? Yes or no? What do y'all think?
He's selling out for that dollar.
I think whenever you talk about self-preservation, it's obvious. Certain things you have to do. His timing is messed up, but you have to keep in mind he's still a young man. Sometimes it takes an older man or someone that's more experienced to help you in your direction. He's a commodity. Anytime you're a quarterback in any professional team, you're a commodity. Mm-hmm. You just got to get the right coach to go ahead and tell you how to play the game. However, what you don't want to become is socially blackballed. And when you're playing a white man's sport, to do the things that he did and talk to certain people the way that he talked to, sometimes they'll put you out of the league. And I hate to use this as an example, but I don't know if everybody remember when the Bulls made their championship run. Craig Hodges went to the White House to see George Bush and Adachi. Top percentage three-pointer in the league. He could not get a contract the next year. I'm telling you, you have to be careful, and you hope that you're making a conscious decision for your people, but you got to be prepared for the consequences. And some consequences have more impact than others. So just be prepared, and if you're standing on something, stand firm. Don't be wishy-washy, though.
But that's something I always say, and I was telling y'all brothers about that movie, The Spook Was Set by the Door, and that's a major film. We're on here, we got a voice and we're saying our thing, but some of those brothers that's making millions upon millions of dollars, and Colin Kaepernick, God bless his soul, he was making millions, but sometimes you need to just stay in the background and do things in the background and let your wealth influence the change that you want to make. He didn't have to be in the forefront of some kind of revolutionary move or some revolutionary action or something like that, but he could have started organizations or funded organizations that could have stood for the principles that he kneeled for. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you don't have to be the face, but you can be the financial backing for it. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the problems I got with a lot of these guys that's making millions upon millions of dollars. You don't have to be the face for any of that stuff. You don't have to come on a radio show like us, and be the face of cats that's speaking out for black men. But you could definitely send us a check. You know what I'm saying? We'll sit here and go to our 9 to 5 and do our thing and get on this mic and whatever, and make our 50 to 100,000.
TheCircleShow360 at gmail.com for more information.
You could definitely send us a check and we'll be the voice of what y'all need us to say and get the word out for our cause. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't have to go out there and put y'all face on it. We don't need y'all label. We'll be the label. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just be the funders.
At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I get it. You know, he still got to get his money. But I will give him his props. Also him and Brian.
I will.
Even though some other people don't want to hear that. You know what I mean? Only thing those brothers did was just bring it to the attention of the masses.
What did LeBron do?
What did he do?
Hold on, man.
What did he do?
Did y'all
No.
Yeah, man, come on.
Before you answer, this is why I'm gonna say
You
this.
still got time for this segment?
No.
Come on.
Let me get this.
We about to dig into this guy for this.
Let me get this. Hey, let me get this.
God,
Look, remember when he wore that shirt that said "I can't breathe"? And then they came up to him and they put the microphone in his face and they said, "Why are you wearing this shirt? What does it mean? What does it represent?" "Oh, well, my teammates got it on, so I'm gonna just go ahead and I'm just standing with my teammates. You know what I'm saying?"
That nigga whack, man.
Come on, man.
He whack.
That was his opportunity to say what needed to be said on a
You gonna
national
do it all the way.
stage. He's the face of the NBA. If he don't play, if he say, you know what, fuck it, I'm not playing until we fix this shit, the whole league is shutting down.
And he has done that.
He's got the power.
He has done that.
So
on
don't
weaker
put
teams,
him
he
in
don't
the same
play.
category as somebody like Colin Kaepernick, who, in my opinion, put it all on the line.
And a lot of times, being a protester, a revolutionary, or someone who goes against the grain or goes against the system, that shit can be trendy. And I noticed that a lot of times, like niggas, they do that kind of stuff because it's trendy or it's the cool thing to do. Oh, we going to the protest. All right, cool. You went down to protest. You did your little thing. It's rah time or whatever. But then what? You know. And I think I said that on the live show. It's like when they did that second Million Man March down there with Farrakhan. Love what he says. Love what he does. I love it. I love the turnout and everything. I didn't go because I knew it was gonna be just like the first Million Man March. You didn't collectively organize individuals to make a change. We have to collectively organize people. He had the opportunity to take sections of individual black men and say, hey, you out in Chicago, you out in Detroit, you out in LA, you out in Miami, you out in Dallas, you out in New York. Okay, this is y'all captain. This is what we gonna do. This is what we gonna push for. This is the agenda. This is what we gonna do to solve the problems that's facing us. If you're not doing that, you're not leading. He needs to lead. Lead these individuals into something. Lead them to a place where we get some kind of positive effect or positive change. What are we trying to affect in this society?
Understood.
What are we trying to do for our people?
Understood.
And I think timing really played against Colin Kaepernick as well. Because this wasn't his year where he was taking the 49ers to the conference championship. This was a time when he was losing his job. 49ers were doing horrible. Who gives a shit what you're saying? He was on his way out. Not only that, but when you are doing something of that magnitude, I agree with Ivan. You want to have a collective as well, because back in I want to say the late '60s, when Lou Alcindor, when I forgot the football player,
Jim Brown.
Yeah, Jim Brown. All of them, they all collectively got together and they had a talking about civil rights, but as a unit. They came together, so one particular man couldn't be pointed out. It's a lot of, unfortunately, people that are in power that don't have enough courage to step to the forefront to make that decision. And Michael Jordan, one of the persons that I want to put out there, instead of LeBron even. Michael Jordan, there's no impact anyone can have on you other than not buying your shoe. Go ahead and step to the forefront. Hopefully you've had some wisdom in the league, in the amount of years you played in the league. Now I understand sometimes you forget, but maybe you need to be shaken up just a little bit to talk to a Colin Kaepernick. You're a legend. Go talk to that young man and tell him the right way that he needs to go about doing things. Take some guys, help these youth that are coming along with the experience that you have. Because timing is the only thing that messed him up, or it's messing Colin Kaepernick up in the whole situation. It's a lot of teams that lead quarterbacks, but I ain't gonna mess with the man. Yeah. It's kind of messed up because the message got lost, because we went through a time where black brothers were getting killed one by one, and that probably forced his hand to make a decision because that played in the back of his mind quite a bit.
What's up, man? What we got on the next?
Does Kaepernick have any siblings?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I got.
He's adopted.
Y'all seen Get Out?
Hold on.
I still have not
God
seen
damn
it.
it.
Man, dog, we got dog.
Hold on.
So listen, that's the thing for me. You know, everybody talks about Kaepernick and his decision, what he did. But I mean, what are we really, you know, have we dove into? Why? How? Like I say, do we have any siblings? Do anybody know that he may have had a nephew, a little brother, a cousin, or somebody who got totally disrespected, beat up, or whatever by the police?
True.
You know, and that's his motivation.
Right.
And at the end of the day, he's still a man who has to provide.
Right.
And football is his tool to provide.
Right.
So is he selling out? On one hand, maybe. You know.
But you don't want to. But the thing is,
Listen. But you got to understand, he's a young man,
that's true.
and you got to look at the fact with his back against the wall, a small thing called fear
Yeah.
might make him say, you know what? Let me just back off for a minute, so I can keep my bread coming to take care of my people. You know what I'm saying? Because at least if the police jack one of mine, I got enough money to go and get him out, get him good lawyers to go ahead and protect him, get him moved to a safer place. I can make a difference. The difference between them and us is usually their finances afford them the opportunities for the righteous part of things. Ours don't.
But you don't want to look like the guy that stands on something, on a firm stand, a firm foundation, and you stand your ground, and then all of a sudden the wind blow a little bit, and then all of a sudden you falling over. And that's one of the foundations of being a man, is being able to stand on some kind of foundation. Hey, you know, this is what I stand for, and I'm not gonna cross that line. This is the line in the sand, and this is where I'm not going to go across that line. I'm not going to allow nobody to tell me, hey, you got to go this way or that way. This is what I stand for, period. You know, and I'm not going to sell my soul out for that. You know, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where his heart was. I can't read the man's heart, you know, where he stood at when he did that. Maybe it was for trend. Maybe it was for publicity. Maybe it was he really was genuine about the fact that he's going to take a knee during the national anthem. But the fact is that black men are still getting killed disproportionately in high numbers by the police. You know, I had a police officer behind me today, and I was texting on my phone. And I looked up, I saw the police sitting there in the cut, and I started sweating, and he pulled out, and got behind me. I'm like, oh my God, he about to pull me over, you dig? But I'm sweating like a mug. Like, okay, let me get prepared. But the thing is that, you know, is he standing for people like me and you and all of the other black men in here that get nervous when the police get behind us, or is he just do that because he knows that we get rah-rah behind it? You dig?
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm asking. You know, are we looking deeper?
And I believe, honestly, he does it because there has been some kind of impact to him in some kind of form, shape, or fashion. Because even though he was a quarterback, NFL quarterback, for him to have that type of impact, it's definitely he has to be aware that there were going to be consequences.
Listen,
so
at the point he decided to go against the grain, we've all seen it. Who was the NFL player that just got killed? 2 months ago? The white guy shot him in the street.
Oh, you talking about the road rage incident?
Yeah, the road rage thing.
Yeah, Joe McKnight.
One thing about it, all of us that are conscious know that no matter the amount of money or celebrity status we have, at the moment we piss them off, we just another nigga.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
but
We just another nigga.
Period.
So again, like I say, with him being young, we don't know what it is. We don't know if death threats came, you know, they kidnapped his grandmama, anything. You know, we don't know the deal, but the fact is, look at all of our other leaders who were told, sit down, shut up, don't. Those that didn't were murdered. Blatantly murdered. You know, and then you have those who, like Dave Chappelle. Everybody talk crap about Dave Chappelle. Oh, he crazy, he insane, $50 million, this, that, and the other. But once he took his hiatus and he came back and was able to explain his side of the story, now everybody's Dave Chappelle is my man. You know, they back on the bandwagon. Mm-hmm. You know, people are fair weather. You know,
True
it's
that.
like if you're not in the storm, nigga, the rain ain't beating down on your boat in your house, you can stand over there on the sideline under palm trees and be like, oh my goodness, that's horrible.
Right.
You know, we do what we have to do.
there it is.
So until I know the whole story, I'm gonna just be like, listen, as a man, he doing what he feel that man need to do.
Right.
Because I don't see nobody else. You know, it's that thing. Y'all work. Y'all got jobs. Y'all know when something ain't right, you always get somebody who be like, yeah, man, go ahead and speak your piece. And then when Mom's speaking, he say, ain't that right, y'all? He look around and get crickets. Everybody was like, oh, man, it was something on the floor. We was all trying to pick it up. What did you say? What happened?
Right.
Now you left holding the bag, and they looking at you like you the one that started when they brought it to you.
Right. Nah, that's true.
And last piece, man. If y'all ain't seen Get Out yet, we can't speak on it. You ain't seen Get Out.
And I'm sorry.
Has everybody else seen Get Out?
I tried to go see it at the matinee last week, man. It was sold out.
You seen it, YG? No?
I'm going to see it tomorrow.
You
I'm
ain't
going to see
seen
it this week.
I seen it already.
Oh, see, okay, so it's two
I'm
people
going to see it tomorrow.
We can't touch base on it. Shout out to Jordan Peele on Get Out. Great job,
you.
bro.
It's a fantastic
Great,
film, man.
great,
Go out,
great
watch
job.
it, watch it,
Great
go
job,
support it.
sir.
Hey, this movie
Great
better
job.
be good. As much as
Great
y'all
job,
pumping it
sir.
up, this movie
Great
better
job.
be good when I spend my
He-
$550. When I spend my $550 to go see it, it better
He
be
said
good.
$550. Look, he touched.
say
This
1990.
is one of the movies,
That's
and
matinee,
I got
baby. I
a
go to
homeboy who
matinee.
said I'm out my mind for saying this, and he hasn't seen it yet. But this movie should go on the shelf with Roots, Mississippi Burning.
Wow.
Rod.
Yeah, didn't I hope they burned in hell?
Definitely.
It needs to go up there. This is like
Wow.
the Matrix
Wow.
for black people.
Okay.
Because it's a for me at least, it was cerebral. It
Good.
was the type of movie that makes you think because it was levels that peels back on it. It's certain things I want to touch on because y'all ain't seen it yet.
Hey.
We'll touch on it on the next show so everybody, all the viewers can see it. There's pieces in this movie, little things that they put in this movie, little signs and stuff that I saw and they made me sit back like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, they put that little thing there, this little thing here, or that little saying there that made me say, wow. You know, if you go back and you read some of your history and then watch the movie and read some more stuff, you'll be like, damn, they really touched on a lot of stuff that pertains to our people in this movie. I ain't gonna get into it. I ain't gonna get into it. See the movie. They grossed 100 million so far as of today.
I'm just gonna say thank you, brother, for touching on the black experience in the correct way. Finally. Finally. Thank
I
you.
remember the brother tried that. Remember the movie with what was it? It was John Travolta, where black people were the ones in power and white people were kind of like us. They was trying to kill him because he looked through the window and saw the black woman getting dressed. I'll find out the title, but you know,
can't remember.
do.
it was one that was done a while ago.
'Cause I don't know
It
that
didn't it didn't get no real publicity, no
Really?
nothing. But what it was the
They switch positions.
yeah, that's what it was. It was. I'm gonna find it.
Please.
But they switched roles.
Okay.
But
See
they
that
told
movie.
the story realistically from our perspective.
As
But
if-
they
as if-
played-
as if- but the characters were white.
Yeah.
Got it.
But they downplayed the movie like, it's garbage, didn't box office, nothing, you know. I saw that, I was like, wow.
See,
Okay.
Get Out, y'all.
The big question for me though is I'm just trying to figure out how in the hell they let him slip through the cracks and put this movie out.
Dog.
I just don't understand
It ain't no accident. It's the same thing because they don't give a doggone about what we think or say or do. They like, let them do it. It's not going to make a difference. Watch. They're not going to catch it. They're not going to see the real story. They won't do it. We've hidden everything between the lines and they never get it.
To
What's the
that,
sales again?
to that point, 100 million gross as of today.
I
It
think they
only
catch
cost four and a half.
Yeah, I think it was 4
I
and a
think
half
they
million
catch
to make it.
Yeah.
Well, you know the
But
reason.
listen,
To
it
that
wouldn't
point,
be
though.
the first time that they messed up. Look at crack.
To that point, though.
They put it in our neighborhoods to destroy us.
But-
We turned it into billion-dollar business. And then what they do, they say, hey, we can't control them. We can't keep up with the council. What we're going to do is lock their ass up for it.
No, that's weed.
But to that,
Right
but
now.
to that point, though, as you said, Tori,
Sure.
why did they let that out? I think you had said that. Why did they
Yes.
let that out? Our people are so sleep right now. We've been entertained. We was talking earlier in the show when we was off camera about like reality TV and all of the stuff that they entertain us with. We've been
Hate it.
lulled to sleep to a point where when you put out some realness, some real reality, some real education, some real facts, we just be like, oh, that was a good movie. and we never go home and discuss it with our family, with our kids.
Like we used to.
You know what I'm saying? We don't sit and
still
get collected together and say, yo, we need to come up with a plan. We need to move in this direction. We're just so disorganized and dysfunctional as a black people. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's also about money. I don't know if you recall, but back in the late 60s, the early 70s, there are a lot of blaxploitation films that came out. Well, when the film industry, they say the blaxploitation films actually saved the film industry. They said a lot of movies that were coming out weren't selling very well. However, when the black people started participating in certain films, such as Shaft, such as The Mac, such as 148th in Harlem, Foxy Brown, those were, once they saw an audience that began to actually participate in buying films, then that's what they opened it. Everything was open. So that's how you have so many blaxploitation films of the 60s and the 70s. That's their era, because we consistently will go see the movies. Well, they had to gamble. They had to take a risk with this film. I haven't seen it, but the risk is obviously paying off. It's almost like Friday. When Friday came out, they had to risk. They took a risk with that one, but it paid off. So this film is paying off, but they have to risk. Right now, the movie industry, because of the bootleggers, because of the streaming, it's probably in a state of disarray. But I'm glad to see this movie is doing well.
Last point on this.
Oh, Tori, you had one more thing?
Nah, just shout out to my dad for putting me on a game of Black Season. Love you.
Last point I want to put on this Get Out, because Jordan Peele, the guy who directed Get Out and wrote it, he had put something on his Twitter account.
What'd he say?
And someone had mentioned the movie and tagged him in it in the mentioning of it on his Twitter account. This guy's named Scott Hanselman. He said, "Listen carefully when you watch Get Out. The opening/ending song is in Swahili. It's Sikelewaza. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Kawa Wahinga, and the term means listen to ancestors, run away." And then he responded to that tweet. He said, "This is correct," and I can't really get into the symbol that he put in here because y'all ain't watched it, so I don't want to break this shit down. He put a deer, he put a buck, okay, a male deer, a buck with trees. So watch that movie, yo. I'll touch on that. I'll touch on that buck when we talk next.
Throughout the movie.
You got
crazy.
Cause that buck. Remember when they was? I'll say this part. You remember when they was in the basement when my man was tied up in the basement?
Let's cool out. Y'all get into it.
Watch that movie.
Let's go and get into this show though, man.
All right, man. So the topic for this week, man, we got a fire topic this week, man. We're gonna piss some people off with this one, I think. But it's coming from a good place. Basically, we want to talk about deadbeat dads, but we want to get a little bit deeper. We want to separate what's reality of deadbeat dads in our community and what is media sensationalism. What is the truth and what is fiction? We sit here in this room. It's 6 black men in this room, and none of us in here are deadbeat dads. I don't think I personally know or affiliate with any deadbeat dads. My father was a deadbeat dad, but in my generation, I don't know of any. I'm not around any. They may be out there, but I don't think it's as prevalent as they try to make it seem. So we want to discuss that today, man. This is something that's very important, and we really need to touch on. So
and that's not to say that they don't exist either, because there are a lot of no good niggas out here. There's a lot of deadbeat dads, and I've encountered a lot of them. They exist. You know what I'm saying? There's guys that don't step up to the plate and take responsibility. But I'm happy to say that being in this room with the collective of guys that I'm with, and I've seen the majority of y'all with y'all children and y'all interactions with y'all children, and we've had serious conversations about being fathers and raising our children. And I think, with the exception of you, Mike, I don't know if it's the case for you, Tori, but I know the majority of us, our dads, were, for the most part, not around, per se. Like, my dad, personally, he lived around the corner.
I'm sorry. I don't want to cut you off, but I think this is very important. can we go around just real quick and everybody kind of say what their situation is? You know, how it was with their father, just real quick, and what their situation is with their kids if they married. So basically, I'll start off. Like I said, my father was not around. He was a deadbeat dad. He was on crack most of my life. He got clean a couple of years ago. We just now kind of start to reconcile that relationship. So that's where I'm coming from on that perspective. Now, me and my wife have been married for 2.5 years, and we don't have any children right now, but we're expecting our first son here in about 2 months. You know what I'm saying? We're very excited about that. So that's kind of where I'm at on my whole perspective. Yeah. So, Monty,
my dad been with me my whole life. Know my grandfather. I mean, we generations deep. I have a son. When he has a child, I'll be in his life. And I'm a little bit different from the rest of the fellas, you know, when I'm talking about deadbeat. When I'm talking about deadbeat, I'm relating more so to, I believe what they're saying is absent. But, yeah, I'm solid on my dad. However, I had a lot of interaction with a lot of those who have had so-called deadbeat dads, but we'll get into it on the discussion. But as far as me, my kids, my father, we're all generation.
You married, you got two kids.
Yeah, I'm married, three kids. My son's 24. He'll be 24 on the 20th of this month. So, and my father turned 61 this month, and I'm 33. No, I'm 23. No, I'm actually 42. So, literally, as far as generations, we good.
I will say yes, my father was in my life. Thank God for that. But definitely I'm a child that came underneath that upbringing of tough love, you know what I'm saying? A very hard-working man. At times it wasn't a lot of compassion there, but he showed his love through his grind. So I appreciate him for that. But I am a father of two, 6-year-old and also a 3-month-old. As far as my situation right now with me and my family is, you know what I mean, I'm learning from his grind and the way that he put it down for us, but at the same time, I'm just trying to give a little more compassion out in my situation in my life at this point in time right now, and not be so hard, you know?
And you married, right?
And I am married.
Right. Father, a widower. I lost my wife a couple of years ago. So I'm raising my children on my own. Proud to do so. I'm blessed. Got great kids, A students, intelligent, articulate, very well-rounded. It's work. It is. But the word says that he won't put more on your shoulders than you can bear. Mm-hmm. I come from a 2-parent home. My parents were together until they passed away. I personally think in the dictionary should be a picture of my father next to the word man, because he was the epitome of a man. I'm not comfortable with this term of deadbeat dad. I was trying to figure out where it originated from. I was doing the research and, you know, pulled up some things. And I wondered if it's one of the colloquialisms of demeaningment, just like they switched us from being youth to juveniles and, you know, from being slaves to now criminals. Mm-hmm. You know, they always figure out a way in order to demean and belittle us and cause fear and disgust with us. So I'm a positive role model for my children and any other child that I'm going to be around, because it used to be a saying it takes a village to raise them. And because there's a lack of so many of our brothers, you know, we got to take on dual roles. We got to be fathers to the cat that live around the corner that don't have one, whose, you know, mother works
indeed 80
hours a week just to make sure that he can have decent clothes and a place to sleep. You know, we got to open our eyes up, man, and start being more conscious and doing what we're supposed to do as men and rearing these young men instead of letting them go out here and be cowboys, you know.
Well, my dad, he lived around the corner from me. Me and my mom, for a large portion of my childhood, we lived with my grandfather. And for me, he was the father figure in my life, him and my uncle, because we all lived in the same house. So a lot of the things that I saw that a man is supposed to do, I learned from him. As far as like taking care of your family, providing, you know, as far as, you know, things that a man should do, as far as, you know, going out fishing or just taking care of yourself in general, I learned from him. But my father, my father who birthed me, who brought me into this world, whose nutsack I came from, you know, I never really spoke to the man except for maybe 5 occasions I could think of. I have a brother, a half brother that I love dearly. Shout out to you, bro, Irv. And me and him, we grew close because of our grandmother. You know, and her and my grandfather, they insisted that we grew close together. But my father, you know, being only maybe 2,000 feet away, you know, I may have, you know, I seen him maybe a few times and had decent conversations with him 5 times. As far as like, you know, when I see him, I don't really say, hey, how's it going, dad, or father, or nothing like that. I just say, hey, what's up, man? And you know, I really don't know what to call the guy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, where do I place you in my life? So that has engineered me as a man to say to myself that I need to be more so into my son's life. So, as a father, I'm a divorced dad. I was married at one time. I was married. We're divorced. I'm on child support. You know, and at first I had issues with being on child support, you know, paying the money that I had to pay. You know, I had to go through the court system to get it lowered because the amount that she wanted me to pay was well above what, you know, the law says that I should pay. And to be quite honest, well above what, you know, most individuals can afford. So I fought that, got that lowered. She had a son before our marriage that I raised as my own for over 10 years, and he still calls me dad to this day. But you know, because he isn't my biological son, you know, she can legally keep him away from me, you know, and she's done all she can to do that, and she done all she can to find the guy who's his biological father and try to put him in his life. So, you know, I've dealt with dysfunction as a child, and now as a man, I have dysfunction that I have to deal with, you know, and that just is what it is. But, you know, that's one of the standards of being a man, is being able to bear the weight of certain situations. As Will said, you know, God is not going to put anything on you that you cannot bear. So, you know, I'm proud that I've been given that responsibility to have to go through some of the things that I have to go through as a man. Because, you know, a lot of people I feel wouldn't be able to do it. You know, a lot of times, you know, I want to give up. But, you know, I keep doing what I do, and I keep striving to be in my son's life just due to the fact that I know what it was like for my father not to be there. So that's where I'm at.
All right, I'm going to say this, for real. Again, when we get to talking about that, I have to revert back to what I've learned from the Word. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, you know, the white man wrote it and all this. Okay, cool. If you feel how you feel, you do what you do, that's on you. But the Word says to honor thy mother and father so that your days will be longer. So when I looked at that, really I looked at it deep because I was dealing with some brothers who had some issues with their parents. Mm-hmm. And because I had lost mine, I was really, it's personable for me. Mm-hmm. So what I was led to was, in this conversation, was the Spirit showed me and say, does it say honor your mother unless she a crackhead? I went, no. It said, do it honor your mother unless she was a drunkard?
Wow.
Unless she was a whore? You know, unless she had a foul mouth? None of that. It just say honor her. The fact of the matter is, no matter whether you build a relationship with the man that helped create you or not, his title don't change. He's still your father. Wow. He's not the mentor that raised you, but that's never going to change as to who he was. His DNA is your DNA. You don't have to act like him. You don't have to be like him. You don't even have to care about him. But the words say honor him. Honor don't mean that you got to be buddy. Y'all got to slap down.
Definitely.
None of that. But you honor him. So in that, when we speak on him, we can't, you know, we get so desensitized. Listen, who is that dude? That's my father. I may not have a relationship with him, but that's who he is. That's the one that created me to be the man that I am today. Because if he hadn't laid with my mother and made me, I couldn't do the things that are being done right now.
So when you say honor,
I want to be here.
When you say honor, you basically mean, you mean like don't outwardly disrespect him?
Don't disrespect. Give him that just due.
No disrespect to my father.
No, you didn't give him that. But I'm speaking for those that don't understand that.
No disrespect to the man.
You know,
none at all.
All people don't get it because they'll be like, I don't know that nigga. That nigga ain't me.
Yeah,
in movies, that's all you see. You know, is the disrespect that we have for one another. Listen, bottom line, without you, it wouldn't be no me. So the respect part is to give him his credit for who he is. Who is that? Yeah, that's my daddy.
Not at all. But
who is he? I don't know. I don't have a relationship with him.
I give him the same respect that I would give you, a Mont, a Tory, a Jay, a YG, a Trey, or Donnie, or any other man that I know. I give him that same respect, that same honor. But I ain't gonna put him on no pedestal. Now, if I'm gonna put somebody on a pedestal, if I'm gonna give somebody some worth or put a crown on somebody's head, I'll put that on my granddaddy's head. I'm gonna put that on somebody's head that's made me into the person that I am today. That gave me the hustle, that gave me the grind, that gave me the shine, that made me. That made me. Going back to what made me the whole person that I am.
Honor don't mean pedestal. Honor is just that. It's just the honor. I don't. I respect this young man.
You my sperm donor.
Right. I mean, however they want to put it, whatever. Because that's like I heard a woman say that about her son's father. Because I hate that baby daddy crap. That, you know, that's another way of demeaning us, being demeaning towards each other. Sperm donor, all that stuff is negative. Keep it cut and dry.
But Will,
watch this. Remember that movie Eddie Murphy made, 1,000 Words? When the leaves, every time he spoke, a leaf was falling off the tree, and once the last leaf fell, he was supposed to die. He was done. He had to monitor the words he used.
Yeah.
So just think about it like this: if we had to monitor the words that we use,
I'm sorry, I gotta disagree with you. It is what it is.
By whose standard?
No, it is.
Nobody else, brother, brought you into this world.
Hold on, Will.
And you're not giving him no pedestal by saying,
I gotta disagree with you.
He my daddy.
I gotta disagree with you. You can have a title all day. You could be my father. You could be my dad. You could be whatever you want to be. But unless you are in someone's life, and unless you are helping to nurture them to be the person that they are.
That ain't what it say,
No.
bro.
No. I don't care what it say.
That ain't what it say.
You get honor. You get the
that's
title. You get the honor of having the title of being my father.
Again, is your personal opinion, just like that.
I'll give you that.
Watch this. Let me bring it back. Hold on.
But you don't know. Hold on. You don't get the honor of sitting in the front row if a nigga win the Grammy. Like your boy LeBron.
God damn it, LeBron.
LeBron daddy ain't been around in his life, and now that nigga is winning rings. That nigga's got fucking Nike sponsorships. That nigga wants to come back and say, yeah, I want a piece of your sponsorship. I want to be on the spotlight too. I want to sit up there in the award show. No, nigga, you don't sit in the crowd.
That's a
you
conscious choice.
No.
Cool.
It is what it is.
He don't have to, but all LeBron did was acknowledge.
That's my daddy. I'll give you that.
That's honor.
I'll give you that. But we don't know what the nigga look like.
That's honor.
Do we know what that nigga look like?
I don't know what his wife look like.
I know what his wife look like. I know what his kids look like. You can pull them up right now. Pull up LeBron daddy. You don't know what that nigga look like. People think that nigga look like, what's that celebrity name that be on the movies? I can't think of his name right now. I think that's that nigga name. They think, you know what I'm talking about.
No, I know his daddy.
Who?
It's Delonte West.
Is that his name? You feel me?
Hey, Tori.
We don't know who that nigga daddy is.
Hey, like I said, man, we got
that nigga's in the same place that he was when that nigga was learning how to ride a bike when his mama was holding the back of the fucking seat and he was trying to balance it.
Hold on.
No.
Let me hit you with this one then. Let me just show you.
He don't get that.
Let me hit you with this. Watch this. My father, right? My father, my daddy. I didn't know until I was grown that my brothers and sisters were not my father's maternal children because my mother had been married before and that her husband had been killed. But because of the honor that my father and integrity he raised them with, you couldn't tell. He never used step. We never used step, none of that. But the most hurtful thing in the world was when my father died and my sister went to take care of his affairs with work. They told her, only his maternal child can handle this business.
That's right.
So how you gonna look a woman in the face that this man has been there and reared all her life and say, that really ain't your dad?
I'm going through that now. I'm going through that now.
But wait a minute, hold on.
I raised the boy 11 years.
Okay, but watch this. Does it take anything from what you did?
Oh, if something happened to that boy right now, if this dude do a show, if he do a show, I can't go.
Does it take from what you did?
As of right now, it doesn't take what I did in the past. No.
That's all I'm saying. But the thing is,
but going forward,
for them to tell you that you don't have for them to tell you that you don't, you done gave your love, your sweat, your blood, and your tears to this individual. This individual done did and will do, was willing to die for you. And because, quote unquote, society say that this ain't so, is a mockery. Because at the end of the day, still, my father was just that. That's all. He was my father. I'm not giving no special titles and all that.
I win a Nobel Peace Prize. That nigga's got the same seat that he had when I went through my...
Cool. That's still your choice.
He got the same seat.
That's still your choice.
He got the same seat that he had when I went through my kindergarten graduation.
Watch this.
He got the same seat. It ain't one.
Hey, Tori got some raw numbers for us here. We can get to the facts.
I'm gonna get to the numbers, but I just want to touch on this right here. I don't know if y'all seen the movie Fences, right? Shout out Denzel.
Viola Davis.
Shout out Denzel for doing the movie because it really touched me in a way. It had me look at my life at this point of sitting back at 37 with a wife, 2 kids, and all that I'm going through in my life right now at this point.
No dog.
I'm gonna look back to the point what I made about my father and in my life situation. A lot of those older cats, I feel like, at the end of the day, they're just men. You know what I'm saying? And sitting here as a man, I made a lot of mistakes in my life. But I thank God for my father for putting little tidbits in my life. He may have not had the words and the compassion at times, but the seeds that he implanted in me was big. And one thing that he did give me, him and my mother, thank both of them for that, was that Bible. And one of the things that stand out to me, and is going back to what my brother Will was saying, was Psalms 127, 3 and 5. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring, a reward from him. Like arrows in his hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man who quivers is full of them. They will not be put to shame when they contend with their opponents in the court. Man, at the end of the day, we could sit here and go back and forth on all of this. They carried it so far, but it's for us to take it to another level at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? As y'all can see, this is all grown, strong black men. You know what I'm saying? And none of that fuckery which y'all seeing out there right now. There are a lot of black men that's doing their thing. Even to get into the numbers, like my homeboy Jay was saying, I'm not gonna say they group, but put out by them. A study was put out, being an involved dad, compared to Latinos, whites, black fathers, lead the numbers for us from the age group of 5 to 18 of being involved in their child's life. And I mean like on daily basis stuff. That means feeding their children, giving them meals, bathing them, diapering their children, played with their children, read books to them. So that goes to show you that we are still very much involved in our children's lives, despite the images that they put out there about us. So they could call us deadbeat dads or whatever the fuckery they want to put out there about us. We are very much involved. And that's not even saying that you got to be in the house with your kids. This study also shows fathers, black fathers, that's not in their children's life. So what gets me is when these women are out here saying that, oh, he ain't shit, but y'all putting these brothers on child support.
Some of them need to be.
You know what I'm saying? Some of them do.
Need to be,
some of them do. But I'm giving credit
to
to the brothers that's on child support and still trying to be in their children's lives, but still getting knocked by some of these women out here. You know what I'm talking about?
And a lot of that comes from the fact that that woman is bitter about the fact that things didn't work out between her and that dude.
Get out your fucking emotions.
You mad about the fact that you and that dude didn't work out, so you gonna make it difficult for this man to be a father to his son or his daughter. So now you gonna put that kid up as a pawn or a piece on your little war board as somebody to get back at this man that you angry with.
They do it
You gotta
every day.
let that go, because what you're doing is you're taking a child that you love, who you profess to love, and you're using that child and you're injuring that child every day, and you're injuring the perception that they have towards men. And since we're black men, we can speak about black men in general. So if it's another black man and you're taking that child, now you're preventing him from interacting with his father. Now he's got an image as to what he sees other black men as and how he sees himself. So when he looks at himself in the mirror, he's going to feel like he's worthless. And if you have a daughter and you keeping your daughter away from her father, now she's got an image of how she sees black men in the mirror. Or how she sees black men on the outside. So now she sees them as worthless or objects.
Or a threat.
Or a threat. Or like you said, a threat. There you go. Or individuals that's nothing more than maybe even sex objects. So now her interaction with men is simplistic. So what are you doing moving forward with these children? What are you doing now that's going to create them into the individual that they're going to be in society? You got to let that bitterness go, baby. You got to let that go.
Already.
You know what's funny, man? You say that. How many brothers have ever run into a woman that's got a child and the father just was horrible, but the woman uphold him to the max, make sure the kid call him on his birthday, do all this, but then you run into the same thing and the father was trying to be 100 and the woman dog him to death. Just he's the lowest thing on the earth. They just treat him like crap. It's like, hold on, it's like car salesman. When the car salesman beats you up and dog you, you bring 15 people back to him. But you get a car salesman to say, hey, listen, we don't want to put you in this car because you can't afford it. You're going to 6 months, you're going to be losing, we're going to come get it. Let me benefit you. And that's the thing that gets my ass. Like when a dude really want to be a benefit, he gets beat down. But when he want to be a dog, you want to uphold him. Like that's the thing to do. You know, be the thug, be the gang. No, man. Be the loser. Yeah.
So does that just come back to women? I mean, I don't want to break it down to something so simplistic, but does it just go back to women just being confused and not really knowing what they want?
I think
you got that situation.
I think it's a generational cycle, Jay. I think that it comes from the fact that they were reared, and we were reared, a lot of us, in households where there weren't men that were there or involved, and their fathers may not have been involved in their lives in a certain way, shape, or form. And so now when they have individual men that are trying to be, they want that relationship to be just the way that they have it. So they have this sense of it's normal, it's normality for there to be this strife between them and that child's father, just like it was with their mother and their father. So now they want the shit to just be this constant drama now. And then what makes it even worse, they watch these shows now, and the shows is perpetuating the same bullshit.
Same.
My God.
TV is the devil.
The same bullshit. So they think everybody in the world is got the same BS that they got. Every nigga ain't shit. Every black father ain't shit. So, you know,
And on the flip,
this is normal.
On the flip, you got the black woman on the TV show, sassy and talking shit and out of line, out of pocket all the time. And that's apparently how they're supposed to act. That's where they get their cues from. And unfortunately, we as black people, we kind of have the TV raising our kids. So you have to be very mindful. You know, my son ain't here yet, but you know, I have to be very mindful of the information and stuff that he's putting into his mind, because you don't want to be poisoned by that box.
Here's my question for y'all.
I'm going to put a challenge out there. Everybody doing all these goofy, dumbass challenges. I'm going to challenge fathers, black men. You know, when you have a blended household, don't just give that woman your last name. Give them kids your last name. if you're gonna be interactive in somebody's life that don't have a quote unquote father, go the extra mile. Legally adopt them. Make it real.
Don't do that.
Make it real.
Don't do that.
I knew that was coming.
Don't do that shit.
Make it
Hey,
real.
niggas, don't do
Man, listen.
that. No, sir. No,
Fuck
sir.
that.
No, sir. I'm speaking
Fuck
from
that.
the don't do.
Listen.
Hey,
So what's the
If you're
drawback?
doing it for the kids, do it for the kids. You can't do nothing about that
niggas,
bitter ass broad.
listen to my voice.
Fuck that.
My niggas,
Gosh
do
damn.
not adopt
Listen.
your stepchildren on paper.
Will makes a compelling
Do
point.
not.
So what's the
Do not
Okay, why not?
do that.
Why not?
Okay,
schoolers?
people change. They're fickle. They change. They do not remain the same.
This nigga know.
We know that.
Okay, you adopt that woman's kid that's not biologically yours,
Right.
and y'all in love, y'all holding hands and prancing through daisies,
And what happened?
and everything's just so lovely, and the kids call you daddy because that sorry ass motherfucking bullshit ass nigga who she disses all the time, who ain't shit, ain't around. So you say, I'm gonna be your dad, and you adopt him. And you say, yeah, I'm your daddy. And you put it on paper and he got your last name now.
What
And
happened?
you got that good job over there at Samsung. You got that good job over there at GM, Chrysler, Ford.
What the law say?
So the law now, when she leaves, is gonna say, now guess what, nigga? You gonna have to pay 20% of your income after tax. Now, hold on. Y'all ain't hear what I said.
For a nigga you can't see.
You gonna have to pay 20% of your income after tax, which means that if you make $20,000, $2,000 a month, okay, you gonna have to pay $400 of your money after your taxes come out, whether it's federal and state, your insurance and all your other little bullshit, and then that $200 is gonna come out of that. Not gonna pay your rent.
Now, I'm glad you brought all that up, because guess what I got to say about all that? Who gives a motherfuck? You doing it for that dollar, or you doing it to make a change in that life? Kid's life.
Let his daddy, let his real daddy
He
do
ain't
that.
got one.
No, you,
He ain't got
no.
one.
If you want to, if you want to be his daddy, if you want to be his daddy,
that way.
yeah, you can. You can be there and support him mentally,
Man, listen.
physically, emotionally, all of that.
Tell
You can
you
do
what.
all of that.
Here go the
But
phone.
you protect your pocket,
Here go the
nigga.
phone. Here go the phone.
Protect your pocket.
Go ahead.
Protect your pocket.
Call D.L. Hughley and ask him that shit.
Protect your
Ask him that
pocket. Protect
Well,
your
I'll tell you
pocket.
something.
Why you say that, Will?
Because D.L. Hughley made it plain and simple. Same thing. He said the issue was, he was like, I'm a celebrity, I'm doing good and all this, man. Never had my daddy in my life at all. My wife got this crazy notion. Let's find your father.
Right.
So he said, I honored his wife. He was like, okay, you done found, look this nigga up, found him, boom. He said, I sent him a ticket, brought him out, took him to dinner, introduced him to his grandkids, shook his hand and gave him another ticket and said, listen, I ain't never got to see you again. My father is Mr. Hughley, the man that raised me. Now, I understand who you are. You know who we are. But I don't have to mess with you, brother.
Right.
Because that man took the initiative and the responsibility for me. Gave me his last name.
Nah,
So he
nigga.
get whatever.
Protect your pocket, nigga.
Watch the.
Protect your
Let me
pocket.
tell you something. If
You
you're a
can
real
do-
man and a
no,
real hustler,
no,
if
no,
they
no,
taking
no,
that too,
no,
you figure
no,
out how to
no,
make
no,
four on the
no,
back end.
Nah,
Because
nigga.
I'm going to take
Nah,
care of that
nigga.
kid.
Nah, nigga. I tell you what. You go ahead. If you want to do that, I tell you what. Take care of all of the kids down there at the boys and girls homes, the kid arounds, the orphanages.
Brother,
I tell you what.
I'm
Go
with
ahead,
you.
take
I'm
20%
going down
of your gross income
I'm with it.
after tax.
Because it's
and
God's
give it to
money
the kids.
anyway. I'm with it. I want to
Go
make.
ahead,
I want to make.
give
that-
it to him now.
That
Give it to him
knowledgeable.
now, Will.
I'm a single daddy right now.
Give it to him
Hold on,
now,
look.
Will.
What you think, James? Because I know
Hold
you
on.
say you grew up.
I'm a
without
single
your
father right now that went from 2 incomes down to half or nothing.
But them your
And
blood
still-
kids.
Hold on,
It's
no.
a difference.
I
It's
got
a
6,
difference.
bro.
It's a difference
I
when
got
that woman.
6.
It's a difference.
3 that's grown that
It's a
I still
difference.
take
It's a
care of.
difference.
It's still
It's a difference. It's a difference when when that woman keep them kids away from you, and them kids want to see you, and you want to see them kids, and that money coming out your check, and you can't do nothing with them.
Watch this.
And now you paying money for kids you can't even see, and you fighting for kids that ain't even yours.
Watch this.
You sitting there looking like an idiot. No, sir. No, sir. I'm speaking from experience on that.
What did
Don't
Martin
do
Luther
that.
King and them fight for?
Don't do that.
They fought for rights for people that didn't belong to them, that didn't come from their lineage.
They did come from their lineage. We all look the same.
They understood.
We all look the same. We all
Same
black.
thing. That's why my father, when he retired,
go take care of all the kids out here that ain't got daddies. Go take care of all the kids out here that ain't got daddies.
Because he made a difference in their life.
Protect your pocket, nigga.
Hey man, on that
Protect
note,
your pocket.
hey, on that note, man, we gotta go to break, man. I hate to break it up. We just getting started, really. We ain't really dug deep yet.
Man, goddamn, it's the mix house, nigga.
You know, we about to get into it, man.
Damn it,
Let's go to break for a little bit.
Woo! Turn up.
All right, Ivan. What's up, man? You had
Go ahead,
something
bro.
to add?
So what I want to say is this. I don't want things to get convoluted to the fact where women or people think that I'm saying that a nigga shouldn't pay. Because there is a burden of responsibility that we both have for a child. You gotta pay for your daycare. You gotta pay for the kid eating. The little nigga's probably eating all the bologna in the refrigerator, all the TV dinners, the kid cuisines and all that. I get that. A nigga needs to pay that. Period. Right. You dig? However, what I am saying is that if that child is not biologically his and he stepped in to take care of that child while y'all were together, and now y'all are not together, then it's no longer his financial responsibility to take care of that child.
Absolutely.
And that's why the government is so fucked
Absolutely.
up, because they put that burden on that man as if we don't got nothing else to do, no other obligations and responsibilities. If you put it on me, well, you need to find out what my taxes are, how much I make on an hourly basis on my paycheck, then I should have the equal opportunity to figure out what my baby's mother is paying itemized towards my child.
Damn right.
This isn't a free chat for her. This ain't to keep a nigga. Pay the check out. Spend it on whatever you want to, your nails, your house, your new car, you ain't got a work situation.
You ain't gonna get that
new nigga.
Brazilian, yaki, Malaysian, Caucasian, Russian hair,
whatever that shit is.
with that check.
However, I do want to be a man of honor and respect to my child because this is for my child. Give me the opportunity to be that as righteous as I can without you abusing the situation so we all feel good about it in the end. Because I do want to be a man to take care of my responsibility. Obviously, the numbers show that statistically. For those that have not been stand-up men in the past, I'm pretty sure that there was something impeding them. And maybe they were better not being in their child's life. Who knows? But they are the DNA of the men that you see before you. So that's good bloodline. Because the men that I know, they're good men most of the time. So anyway, we're going to keep this thing rolling. Hey, I just want to go ahead and put in my 2 cents.
I want to ask y'all a question. I want to bring up a point because we're talking basically on fatherhood as well. Is that, and it's something that you did yesterday, Will, that I really liked when I was at your crib, is I saw a lot of affection with you and your kids. You know, and I saw a lot of affection with your homegirl's child who was over at the crib too. And the thing is that I was getting my hair cut today, and my barber said something that really touched me. He said that he never heard his father tell him that he loves him until he was 40 years old, and he thought that was okay. And he said that helped him to not be soft and helped him to not be gay because his dad never hugged him or showed any kind of physical affection towards him. I kiss my kid every day when I see him.
I disagree with that.
I tell my son I love him. And I think it's very important, and I want these men that's watching this show right now to understand, it is okay to tell your son that you love him. It's okay to hug your son. It's okay to kiss your son. It's okay to show affection to your son. He's not going to be gay because you do that. He'll understand the difference between being a man. He'll understand what it means to love. So don't be afraid to show love to your son. I really want that to be known.
And just don't stop there, though. When you hug him, don't be scared to not only, they say spare the rod, spoil the child. You want to give his ass the rod and you want to spoil him. So you can do both.
The discipline.
It's room to have balance. Because that's what it takes. It's going to take for him to have balance when he get out in this world.
Men raise their sons.
Yes.
Women love their sons. Women raise their daughters. Men love their daughters. So the thing is that that's why it's very important for men to be around their children, because the balancing effect is there due to the fact that the man is in the life of their child. So to keep yourself away from your children, you're injuring your child.
Yep.
To keep that man out of that child's life, you're injuring your child. He needs to be there. He's bringing the balance.
Sometimes you might have a man that's more detrimental to his child.
Yeah, but whose fault is that though?
And that's 1 out of 10.
Whose fault is that for having a kid with that nigga?
And I don't. Yeah, and that goes back to the selective. And I hate to put it into terms, but as AKC, when we talking about pit bulls, she's talking about
breeding.
Breeding. When you choose that man, you got to know what you're dealing with. You know what I mean? And after you have that man, or after y'all had conceived child together, you have to know or figure out which best way this child is going to impact my seed as he grows up. Who knows? It might be better for him to not be around his daddy. And I don't hate to, but I love to bring in the fact that I've never seen God one time in my life, but I know He is my Father.
That's
so
right.
therefore,
Amen.
anytime I talk about the relationship that a seed or a man or a father has with his child or with their father, it's important that you understand that is a relationship. Don't believe that you just being raised by yourself, you growing up by yourself, because his blood flows through you. So whether or not you give him that acknowledgement, or whether or not you actually give him the credibility of being your dad, that man runs through your veins, and a lot of your attributes, how you act, how you think, how you feel, that's him. It's running through you.
I got a question, bro.
Give your homage.
I got a question. I'm 100% with you on all that, but I just gotta throw this out there. May not make me popular, but why is it that a woman got so much power when it comes to these kids, man? Why? Why is it that a woman could say,
Explain it.
he's the child, this the child daddy, put it on paper, and we gotta pay, and then find out after we done paying, she come back and say, well, DNA show that ain't his daddy at all, and they get away scot-free.
It's monetary.
But I'm saying, why is it the same thing don't apply? Why is it, if we want to be fathers, we got a bitter woman that wants to use that child as a pawn to tear that child down, to destroy that child's essence, because she's mad because we ain't working out, or because she's not getting a paycheck from us no more, or because we not whining and dining no more. She done just basically showed, listen, I really don't care about this kid. I care about what I can gain. So how come we don't have this selfish clause that allows us the opportunity to hit them up, pin them up, lock them up?
Well, and that should be the case, but you got to realize when I said it's a monetary situation, when you're talking about males, because a lot of these laws are very old. So when you're talking about males, you're talking about the primary breadwinners in the family. If that male does not take on the responsibility of raising that child, it becomes the responsibility of the state. So therefore, they give that woman the opportunity to point to the man. It's almost like having a job. If I got the opportunity to work at Samsung and I got the opportunity to work at McDonald's, best believe I'm going to choose to work at Samsung because I know it pays better. That woman takes that same obligation. She's going to choose that man, especially if they don't have the opportunity to go back and point out DNA. She's going to choose the highest income gainer, which is going to take the state out of the equation. Money just continuously evolves and revolves back out of the state pocket, back into the state's pocket.
Kind of what you was saying, Will. It seems like it kind of defaults to the woman, and it kind of makes me think back to slavery times. It seems like the goal was to separate the family and not have them build that cohesive unit. You want to make sure the man, either if he was too strong, you sold him off, or if you moved him to another side of the farm, you wouldn't let him live with the wife. I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know if it's something that's bleeding over from that era, or if it's a situation where, I don't know, maybe men by default think that they don't have no other options, no other choices, but to go ahead and just automatically give the woman that power in that situation. I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure why it's like that.
You're married, you got kids. Suppose tomorrow your wife walk away and go, you know what, this just ain't working. You know what I'm saying? You got to move out. You got to pay and take, but I want to move to another state, but you got to take care of these kids. How you feel about that?
just give me the opportunity to still be in my children's life. Do not use that as a weapon against me. You know what I'm saying?
But you do.
You know, a lot of times from what I've noticed, you had something you wanted to say to her?
I'm saying he got a real. She do though, cause she mad because you ain't working out to be the vision she thought you would.
That's an emotional response.
It's life. It happens every day.
And I feel, you know, it's a hard one. A lot of brothers out here going through that, you know. But at the same time, I know in my mind, whatever she's putting me through, I can't let that affect what is the bigger goal, and that's my girls. You know. So I'm willing to carry any kind of cross that I gotta bear at that point.
Man,
you know
that's deep, and that's what the government knows. Even though they try to make us look like the weaker vessel, we strong. We so strong. We take care. 99% of us take care of what needs to be taken care of.
And that's what's important as well, is we need to show that.
Right.
By being there.
And
even though
statistics, though,
she tries to keep you out of their life, even though you got these bitter women that want a man not to be around and try to make you look like you a quote unquote deadbeat, you need to do that fight and continue to struggle. Even though it might be hard for you, you need to continuously to be there, because what you're doing,
give up,
what you're doing when you do that, you're setting the bar.
But
you're setting the bar for your child, and you're showing them the qualities of what a man is. Regardless of what someone throws at a man is always going to continue to fight until he conquers that situation.
But
okay, go ahead.
But like my brother Jay was stating, though, look at the bigger scheme of things, though. Those things are put in place to take us away from our fucking families. Why use that against us anyway? You know what I'm saying? Let us be the men that we need to be to these children.
No.
Whatever the emotional thing that you and that other person went through, still do not keep that father out of that child's life. Because at the end of the day, they need us.
I got another question there. What about the brother that quote unquote hustles? And I'm not talking about to sell drugs or whatever, but I'm talking about to get out here on his grind. That tries to promote records, has a car wash, things that don't report an income. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was sitting there, he was making, $80,000 a year and taking care of his responsibility. This woman said, you know what? I need more because of these kids, and I'm doing this, that, and the other. He's saying, listen, hold on. I'll be there. I'll do this. No. We don't want that. So now the state say, okay, cool. We're going to take 65% of what he get. Now, because he don't want to work a regular job, getting the W-2, now you want to lock him up. Hold on. Now you want to knock him up, call him a deadbeat and all that. Why? Because he still has to survive, and he's doing what he got to do to take care of his kid.
It's niggas out here that don't even want to pay $25 a month in child support. And unfortunately, the system is set up bad. And I get that. It's set up. And trust me, I know. If anybody in this motherfucking room know, I know how bad the system is set up. However, it's set up in such a way, you do got niggas out here, because I know when my sister, she has a dude that she got a child by, and this nigga has got problems with paying $25 a month in child support to his kid and won't pay the shit. It's sorry dudes out here like that, and I get that. However, the thing is that if a woman sees that there's a man that's doing all he can, he's in his kid's life, he's around, he's doing what he needs to do, he's giving what he can, don't try to fucking put the vice down on this nigga to make shit harder for him than what it needs to be.
Them the ones that do it.
Don't do that.
But and me personally, I think a man is gauged on his monetary, what he gives out monetarily, how much money he gives to a child. And unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to call it, that these are personal experiences I'm talking about. My wife's gonna hate me for it, but she doesn't know her biological dad. She told me never to bring it into. I'm her daddy, but I love you, baby.
What's up, Shonda?
But it's a lot of situations, that I think she's better for it. You know what I mean?
Some niggas don't need to be around their kids.
Yeah, I got my sister, directly. She has, a baby father. He's not there monetarily, but his family, they're strong. My nephews, they in the situation, there are other times that a man can give more than monetary gain. However, that's how society gauges you. And I think it has to be gauged beyond that monetary, whatever you're giving. However, that's the best way to get inside a man's social as well as his emotional well-being. Once a man is losing the money, something he's earned for, he feels as if he's working for nothing, which puts you in a position to almost give up. I remember Ivan talking about, certain men, like they have positions that they ready to give, they all of a sudden are ready to give up because they have no control over any of the events that are taking place between them, that woman, and their child.
Some niggas don't need to be around their kids, period. And I get that. However, there's a lot of men that need to be around their kids, and these women are bitter towards that man. And that's where her family needs to step in. Her mother, her sisters, her friends. And a lot of these women, they sit, these women, they sit on the sidelines and they gas her up. And they put that shit in their head in these TV programs and this shit that they see on social media. And when they posting them statuses on Facebook talking bad about their child's father, who is there, these women, they don't step in and say, hey, baby, hey, girl, woman to woman, you need to stop what you're doing. So I think it's really imperative that a lot of women, they need to take time out to be, not the coach to sit back and watch that bullshit ass drama that this chick is creating, so that they can be entertained, but they need to step in and say, hey, you're causing conflict in a situation with a family. Now, granted, they're not in the same house, you're not a family, but you're causing conflict with that child and their father. Y'all need to step in. Stop supporting bullshit.
And one thing I respect about that older generation is, and a lot of women today need to go back to that and get back to their foundation is, I never heard my mother and father really argue in front of me. So why would you want to bash that man in front of his seeds like that? And 9 out of 10, that brother is not bashing you, but you gonna discredit him in front of his kid. Now you done put that mind frame in him like my dad ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
I had to give my mom credit. Like I said, my dad, he was on crack most of my life, but I found that out on my own. She never bashed him in front of me. And her sisters, my aunts, they didn't understand it. They say, Velma, you always taking up for Earl. I don't understand why you always taking up for him. You always on his side. And she wasn't necessarily taking up for him per se. She just wouldn't bash him. She wouldn't talk down about him. You know what I'm saying? She understood that, yeah, he is the way he is, but at the end of the day, that's my child's father. You know what I'm saying? And it was moments in his life, or in my life when I was growing up, where, she would bring me around him. When he was kind of cleaned up a little bit, she would bring me around him. So she was still always trying to build that foundation and build that relationship, so that, I can kind of be centered and understand what's going on and make that decision for myself, opposed to having to hear it from another party. So I really thank my mom for that. That's very
What happens
important.
with this though? When you got a dude that just he's not gonna do, why you gonna try to force him to do something he ain't gonna do? If he ain't gonna be in the kid's life, he just ain't gonna be in the kid's life.
Oh, yeah.
You knew that when you laid with him. You was just that's all it was a roll in the sack.
But
y'all was irresponsible, and a child came up. A child is a blessing from God. That's her blessing.
But that's unacceptable. For a man to for her to be to say I laid with him and I know who he is. Now I understand you know who it is, but on his part, I think she needs to continue to pursue. Because one thing, and I partially agree with you to a little bit as far as he's going to be who he is, but that doesn't give me the excuse to stop trying.
No, but he ain't gonna do.
Yeah,
He'd rather go sit in jail.
And you got him like that.
Than to do that. But I'm saying
like
you're perpetuating a negative situation. You got a brother who do want to do,
right?
But you put the laws on him and all that. You create all this havoc in his life. So when he can't afford to, you lock him up. So now he always got to start from square one, because the minute he missed 3 days in a row at work, no call, no show, he lose that job. You know what I'm saying? Now he got to start from scratch.
That's the government's proposed way of trying to make the man accountable for
Absolutely.
And another thing too is, how you gonna turn to them people in your circle when the average grandmother, about 38 years old? You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
That's true though.
Let's be real about it.
Where's the wisdom?
And you gonna take that advice?
But I'm not knocking nobody that's 38 though. I'm not knocking I don't believe wisdom has an age. But what I do believe is, at that particular point that you had that child, you have to stop thinking of. See what happens with both men and women after they have that child. They're still thinking of self. You have to drop everything, every notion within you that said me, and put it to them. And once you have enough humbleness in your heart to say, you know what, this is no longer about me, that's when you get good. That's when things begin to change, because your mission is no longer about how I'm going to have my apartment for next week or how I'm going to get my nails done. It's more so, how can I get a comfortable position? How can we both get together to get our child a comfortable position where he's raised without the inequities of the world?
But my thing is this too, you know, it's like I'm not knocking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it got a few exceptions to the rule where it got some people that's out there and they wise and they get it. But at the same time too, well, how am I take your advice when you haven't even really lived life your damn self?
Yeah, but we got,
you know what I'm saying?
But I gotta hear, just like we doing it right now, I gotta hear, because we do it different. We got some of the good shit you do, I gotta take. Some of the good shit I do, you gotta take.
Already.
And then some of the bad shit that I do, I gotta get rid of some of the bad shit. But we gotta collectively come to some point. So you have to have that kind of conversation with each other in order to figure out. Other than that, you don't know. You just don't know.
You just don't know.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah,
True.
you got to come to a position where you know you're able to hopefully figure out what we can do best to get to bring our child up. I was raised with my father, and let me reiterate, I was raised with my father. He was tough. He had me in a position a lot where I literally wanted to walk in front of a bus and kill myself. I mean, my dad used to be hard on me. He was making me a better man, but I realized as being a father myself, there's no manual. There's no specific way. There is no manual.
And there it is.
Say it one more time for
There
him.
is
No manual.
none. And
There it is.
the whole thing is, as you're coming up, you're dealt with situations that you haven't experienced even as a man yourself. So you do the best thing within your power, make the best decision within your power to try to make that situation as best as it can. Little did I know, my father was dealing with so much on himself as an adult. I mean, and I had a lot of other influences. As a child, you have to be strong enough to take some of the best information from some of the least likely sources and make it information that you could possibly change into a positive into your life. Now, once you become that individual that's strong enough to take those attributes, that's when you win it. And that's when it becomes your responsibility beyond your parents to take that wisdom and make that wisdom your own. And a lot of it is really about just living life. A lot of things you're told, but you just gotta live it, and that's why I necessarily I believe in an absentee daddy, and shame on them. Those are the ones that I despise, but a daddy that's around the corner, like Ivan said, some nigga that I can go cuss out because this motherfucker ain't there, yeah, that's my daddy. Motherfucker, what the fuck are you? Mama's struggling, I need your help. Hey, that's me, that's in my heart, you know what I mean, because I'm angry, but and let me rephrase that because that sounds like a real angry black man. But no, I'm disappointed. There it is. I'm disappointed at how you've shown yourself to be the father that I need in my life to help me with direction. I need to be raised off. You need to share some of your experiences about life so that I can make better decisions so it doesn't take me as long, so that eventually my impact on society will be one that'll be reflective of you and of me. A little bit faster. Don't let me make the same falls and pitfalls. If you love me as if I am your own, as if I am you, don't have me go through the pitfalls that you've been through in order to get to the positives. I shouldn't have to hit them valley lows in order to get to the mountaintop.
Hey Jay, you about to be a father,
Right.
a parent. I remember when I started out, with my children. All I could think was my job for my sons was to keep them out the system, right? And for my daughter was to keep her off the pole, flat out. Sound harsh, but it's real talk.
It's real.
It's
As a
very
man, I want to be the example of what she needs to see to know how to be loved and respected
Exactly.
in a positive way.
There you go.
So I do what I do. I make sure she get her first car, her first crib, her first diamonds, her first dinner. All that come from me.
Nah, I ain't doing all that shit.
I set the example for what it is. So
No,
she
but
understands. You can be a strong woman,
Right.
but you got to have the other part to that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Success by itself is empty without somebody you love to share it with.
What?
I can't have a seed of mine out there that I'm not influential in their life. It's not going to happen.
Right.
Me and the woman may not be able to stand each other. Has nothing to do with the child.
Right.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to do.
Right.
Flat out.
And it's important for us as men to set the bar. You can't tell your son to do or your daughter to do things that you ain't doing. If you want to see your son or your daughter accomplish something, then you need to make sure that you're trying to accomplish something still. They have to look at you as a beacon of light of what they need to be. So if you're asking them to progress in things, and move forward and become more educated, more knowledgeable, better fathers, better husbands, better sons, better whatever, then you need to be that. You can't put something on them that you're not willing to do.
And I hear what you're saying, and I may be a little bit partial to that. And the reason is, it's not, everything ain't in everybody. And the bottom line, I might be, my dad might be asking me to do something that he can't do, simply because he sees it in me. Like, at times, I see something in certain people that I know I don't have within me to do.
But you need to be evolving.
But the evolution part of it is, I'm gonna push you. That's part of the evolution.
True, but they need to see you as the person that's evolving. They need to see you as the person that's an example of what they need to become.
Guess what?
Well, I plant the seed.
Why is it that you can't be the example for what not to do?
Exactly.
Nah.
And you can be.
Because
if a drug nigga tell you, don't become a drunker because this way you gonna be. If you gonna be ignorant and don't listen and become a drunkard and lose everything like he did, it's on you.
A lot of kids are gonna follow their daddy's footsteps. Now they're not gonna go into the pit like in your case, Jay. Your dad, you said is on crack. But they're not gonna fall into a pit like that necessarily. But
that's what you got them to do. That is the motivation.
If they see the limelight of you being a drug dealer, then more than likely he gonna be like, well, shit, this nigga making money out here on these streets, nigga. Why the fuck I'm gonna go to college too?
That's where it comes back on the dad to frame it properly. Like, look, I'm out here, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but this is what can happen if shit goes wrong. You have to frame it properly. You can't just let them watch you. You know what I'm saying? You have to be there to guide them in the right direction, even if you are going on the wrong path. You know
Guess what, Jay? You say you don't know or whatever, but I got a nephew whose father was, always alcoholic. He was a great guy, but the same thing happened. He was doing the thing, made a bunch of money, started hanging out with women who were getting high, who influenced him to get high, and the high took over. You know what I'm saying? But because of the positive influences, he looked and he loved his dad, but he understood. He was like, listen, you achieve great things, but you got took down by something. So he don't want no parts of no drugs or nothing now. He's very, very well off, very astute. But it's because he learned that lesson of what he didn't want out of that.
Right. There it is. Right.
There it is.
So every negative thing don't have to have a negative impulse on you. It can bring forth a positive response. It's not what you do to me, it's how I respond to it that I'm held accountable for.
It's cause and effect. Yeah. And I do agree, though, to a certain degree. Like, you have to build that foundation. You have to frame it. But if you can't frame it, because it's not within everybody's capability, that's your intent. It's always to be the one that they build behind. But that's in a perfect world. And the reality of life, and you even said it yourself. You said how you were raised with your father, you weren't going to be that man with your child.
But this is the thing, like,
so he set the transverse. You are the exact opposite of what.
But if it wasn't for my grandfather, I wouldn't be the man that I am now. I had a positive influence in my life that caused me to be the man that I am. I had different individuals outside of my grandfather who caused me to be the individual I am. So I had individuals that I looked at and I inspired to be.
But it's not.
So the thing is that when we have children, there's certain things that we need to understand we need to cut off because we got people that's watching us. Mm-hmm. If you got somebody that's watching, you need to understand, hey, I got somebody I'm watching. I'm selling dope out here. I'm out here on the street hustling. Okay, I get it. This is what I'm doing. But you need to start making steps and moves so you can get out of that because you don't want your child to fall into the same pitfalls that you're in. You can't expect them to be something more than what you're trying to become. You need to pave the way. All of these people, like the Rockefellers, the people that's got all this money, the Rothschilds, those individuals that got this money, they paved the way for their children to take and inherit what they got. Shit, look at Trump's son. Trump's son, he went off. Trump, he's the president now, and he can't legally hold the businesses that he got, and he's still making money off them, but his son is running the business. You need to leave some kind of legacy for your kids. You need to lay down a foundation for them kids to take hold of. You need to pass the baton. What the fuck you gonna pass to them? Fucking kilos of cocaine? You look stupid. No, you need to give that up. You can't tell your kid, don't be like me. I know I'm out here selling dope, or don't sell dope like me. Yeah, okay, whatever, dog. I'm gonna go over here to your brother and go get a few. No,
Okay,
you got to give that up.
But wait a minute. What about the cat that did do that?
That's few and far in between, brother.
No.
That's few and far in between.
Just because it's a small minority, we can't negate the fact that number exists. That one that did, that his shit went awry, but he put up bread for the uncle to be like, listen, make sure my son get through college and become a judge or a lawyer or whatever.
You're training your son to end up in the same place that you're ending up. Your ass end up in jail, your son gonna be in the cell block right next to you. I'm training my son to be a scholar. I'm training my son to be a scholar.
Well,
He needs to hold on. My son is gonna be an intellectual. I want my son to have a PhD. So what I need to do is go get a PhD. I'm going to pave the way so that my son has it easier than what I had. I'm not going to allow my son. No, I'm not going to allow my son to have to fight against the fucking headwinds of the world when I can fucking take that shit off of his plate.
But he still gotta understand the struggle though.
Yeah, and that's fine. You can understand the struggle. I'm gonna teach that to you. But I'm not gonna be out here selling crack cocaine and thinking and showing this glamorous life and going to pick my son up after school in the benzo. And he asking, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, well, I'm hustling out here. I'm doing my nigga. If I want you to be everything that you can be and do it the right way, then nigga, I'm gonna make the steps that I can do to make it the right way. Look at Puff. Look at Jay-Z.
Hey, you talking about one of a million.
No, I'm talking about in general. I'm talking about in general. You need to start making ways so that you're not gonna be on that same path.
Right now.
Okay, well take your ass to community college and get out.
But it's a lot that have will not.
Take your ass to community college and get out. Go get a degree. You can go get an associate's and be an RN.
Who gives a fuck about
Go and get a job. Nobody. What RN can't get a job, man? What RN can't get a job? What RN can't get a job right now? No. What RN can't get a job? What RN can't get a job? What RN ain't making 100,000? What RN ain't making 100,000, man? No.
You can be whatever you want to. You just gotta set your mind.
So if you a dope dealer, your son don't want to be a dope dealer, bro.
All right, bro.
Let me ask this question. Let me just throw this out there. How many of us right now,
gosh damn it,
out there with degrees that can't get a job?
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, then you picked the wrong motherfucking field, nigga.
But that ain't
you need to go back and enhance your skills. Go back and enhance your skills. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? If you can't get a job doing that shit, then go do something else, nigga. That's part about being a hustler.
You motherfucking delusional.
Hold up. Listen, all I is saying is that you don't quit.
No, I get it.
You don't quit evolving.
We all get it.
That's cool. But let's get to the reality.
I'm not going to tell my son to do something that I'm not doing.
I got you.
I'm not going to tell my son to be all he can be in school, and I'm not in school doing all I can be.
Let me talk about me.
Because the bottom line is the kids going to always find fault in everything you do, regardless
I'm
of
going
what
to
you
talk about
are.
me if y'all don't mind.
They going to find fault.
I got a question for y'all brothers sitting here. Would y'all say I'm a pretty alright dude?
Of course.
Hell no. You ain't shit. You're a twisted, baby. Yeah, I don't know. You
All
a
right,
fucking
look,
psychopath.
I am, I swear. But just like what you were speaking about the other day, I took an opportunity for one of my homegirls to speak some positive and some life into her son, who's hurt by the fact his father is not being active in his life. He don't know I know that. But I speak positivity and life in any child that I get around.
Right.
Now, real talk, have I done some things that were unfavorable? Yes, I have. Was it because I had a bad example for a father? No, it's not.
I done done
it was
some
a
bad
choice.
shit. I'm gonna do some
You using a key term.
You
It was a choice.
You
that
said
I
done.
chose.
You said done.
No.
Done.
So
Past tense.
listen, but that's the same thing when we talk. When you just made the statement about the dude that's out there doing the drugs, whatever that he's doing, that his kid is destined for that.
And why
Hey,
drugs always got
you need to get out.
Listen,
Get out.
Damn it.
for
You
the
need to
same
get
thing-
out.
Listen, For the same
Get
thing
out.
for those
Bad
who were
medicine, they
doing
do drugs,
extortion.
Get out.
You know,
The Kennedys
thieving,
did
who were
drugs.
robbing.
They got out.
You got
that exactly. That's
They
the
got
point.
out, man.
They got out the game,
They
but
got
that's
out.
what built their
You gotta
foundation.
get-
The
okay.
dope and
That's
the
fine.
motherfucking
That's
alcohol
fine.
built
But
the
you got,
man that they are.
You're right, but they got out.
Presidents.
You got out, sir.
Gosh, damn
That's the
it.
thing. You got.
Yeah.
You got. So you in the dope game, but you ain't thinking of no ways to get out.
I'm not saying
you just
that
sitting
get out.
there,
I'm
you just
saying
sitting up there in the
your child saw that,
trap.
though.
You look
I'm
like a
talking about
fool.
to evolve.
He
I'm
looks
talking
like
about
a
it went
fool.
from granddaddy to
You have to
granddaddy
get out.
to
You have to
president.
get out.
And
You
now
have to
they
get
are
out.
revenge in
Listen.
society.
Get out of that shit.
All I'm saying is, it don't have to be that. What about the blue collar guy that goes and works 30 years at Ford Motor Company?
Point.
You know, what about the cat who was working?
And you know what happened to them
listen,
niggas?
who was working at Enron doing what he was supposed to do?
You know what happened to them
and
niggas?
the company shit on. No, hold on, this is some real stuff. Because you got a guy who got up, a woman that got up every day, going and making their money, doing their thing, proud about what they do, and the company shut them out. So you saying they did something wrong because they went to college and got them degrees,
The majority-
and they were handling what they had,
the majority-
and they were doing
the
what they
majority-
got,
the
and they were
majority-
up under
the
the
majority-
falsehood
the
that
majority
this
of them niggas-
institution had their
the
back. No.
majority
Let me
end up
tell
working
you.
in the plant
Let me
with
tell
them.
you. Let me tell you. These individuals built amazing lives off of a lie that they didn't even know was coming.
Talk about it.
Because they were doing quote unquote the right thing. They went to school, they paid their dues, they got a good job, and they built their way up.
Right.
And right there at the midst of it, a greedy ass individual say, you know what, I want to solve them. I'm gonna just take whoop and pull the rug from under your
Right.
feet. Now let me tell you the
But I
difference.
disagree with you when you
Hold
up here
on.
talking about you up here selling dope and this and that. And you telling your kid not don't do as I do, but do as I
We didn't
say.
say selling
You
dope.
know,
We
hold
said
on.
just
Wait
tell
a
them
minute,
that
I'm
I'm
listen. Hold on, I'm gonna take the devil's advocate on that.
Don't do as I
Listen, I'm
don't do
gonna
as I
take
say. Don't do as I do, but do
Watch
as I
this.
say.
Well, let me
Don't
show you
work
how-
here at GM on
let
the
me
line
show
like
you
I
how-
do. Even though I'm out here making dough,
let
but
me
go
show
over
you
here to
how-
college and no, hold on. Don't do as I'm doing and come out here and work and making $100,000 a year on the plant at GM. Even though I'm coming home tired and I can't make it and I'm sore every fucking night. You know what I'm saying? Just do as I'm saying to do and go to college. No, they gonna join you right there on that plant and hurt their fucking
Not
back too.
necessarily,
I'm
man.
saying
I
no,
disagree.
I'm
Let's
saying you're
talk
right.
about it.
It's not. No, I agree. Not necessarily, but the majority
You know better
end
than
up
that.
folling in the footsteps
got to
of
know
the
better
people
than
who
that.
paved the way.
If I see my- if
You
I see
need to
my
pave
parents-
the way in the
You gotta know
direction.
better
You
than
need to
that.
pave the way for your children. Niggas ain't paving the way, bro.
Okay,
Everybody
That's
saying
good. That's good.
Right,
Pave the way.
let me finish my point.
Inspire your child to become more is what I'm saying.
Go ahead. bro.
Okay, now that's different
Let
than
me-
saying not
So
do
maybe
what I do.
maybe I need to clarify for y'all niggas that y'all
Okay,
ain't getting it.
goddamn, well, goddamn, speak it already is.
Because
That's the other
what
way.
y'all ain't getting is that if
Shit.
I'm here
said the
stagnant,
shit
if
wrong.
I'm here stagnant on this motherfucking headset, making $100,000 a year, making doing loans.
Then you tell this motherfucker try to aspire to own.
Then I'm gonna inspire him to be more because I'm going to become more.
Now, I get that.
I'm going to be doing stuff in the background so he can see what I'm doing. I'm going to be constantly
But sometimes
evolving.
you don't have that
But
ability.
no, you do. You have to
don't.
be trying.
You don't.
have to be constantly
Because
improving
you're
upon
earning.
yourself. And
No,
niggas
you
ain't improving on
You
themselves.
staying afloat.
All right, well, listen. Let me give you some facts and statistics and some real shit.
Okay, pull them
All
up.
right.
I better hear percentage.
Here we go.
Nigga.
Now, you look at names like Rothschild,
Huh?
Goldstein, Hyman, Rothenberg, Luciano, right? Now let's look at the lawyers that come. We just gonna say New York. Come out of New York, right? 38%. Do the math. Pull it up, bro. 38% of them come from families who are involved in criminal activity.
Oh, I totally agree. NASCAR.
No, wait. I don't want you to agree with me. Let me finish
I agree
spitting
with
this.
that. Okay.
So these were families that came from criminal activity who said, you know what, this ain't gonna last.
How did they get
but
to that
what
point?
we gonna do is we gonna say,
How did they
listen,
get to that point?
what we gonna do is say, hey, I know what I'm doing is paying the price, but you're my son. Your sons and daughters ain't gonna do this. We putting this dirty money into you so that you can do better, so that they can go to school, so that they can do better, so that they can go and they can do better.
They laid the foundation, bro.
Oh, wait, hold on. But it came from negative, dirty shit.
You right.
Drug dealing, murder, extortion.
But they already was moving the direction of the train that way. You was already navigating it that way, bro. Niggas ain't navigating the shit that way.
Hold on, we can't over talk each other, bro.
They not navigating it that way, bro.
I know some brothers right now, flat out, who did that, who was like, listen, I came from Dexter, and I know what I was doing was wrong, but I put that money up, so now his sons is going to top tier colleges.
Bro,
even though they're doing 40 years.
Telling somebody to do something is different than navigating the shit in that direction. Niggas ain't navigating the shit in that direction. You need to already be propelling that shit there.
I grew up under that, don't do what I do, you do as I say, damn it. That's what it was. You speak when you're spoken to. Yes, sir. No, ma'am. Those were foundations that were laid. Like I said, Daddy might have worked at the plant, but been a flat-out stinking ass drunk every other night coming home. But he paid the bills. You know what I'm saying? He put clothes on your back. Don't mean he was a father. You got cats that work in these plants 80 hours a week that take care of a household and another nigga raising these kids.
And that's good. But bro, what are you doing?
Or you can't be negative about.
What are you doing to navigate, bro?
I just told you what he's doing to navigate.
No. Hold on, bro.
Wait, no, Will. No, hold on, Will. No, I promise you. I'm gonna finish. You can have it,
bro.
You can't tell me that I can't say, you know what, my life right now ain't gonna grow no further. I'm a full-time felon. No matter what I try to do, I'm gonna always be minimal. So I'm gonna take my penitentiary chance, do what I gotta do to make sure that I got something solidified for my seed to be able to grow further than I could. That's the price I'm gonna pay.
You're using words that you didn't use previously, my brother. You need to navigate the train. You need to navigate the plane. No, hold on, bro. You said your piece. You said your piece, Will. Will, you said I could do it. You said I could do it. You said I could take it, right? You said I could take it a minute ago.
I ain't gave it to you yet, though.
Bro, I ain't gave it to you. You just cut me up, bro.
Right, because I'm not finished.
You're not navigating. You're not now. You mentioned families that have built wealth for their children. If you watch the guy, bro, hold on, he ain't let me say what I need to say. You said your piece. I sat here quiet, and I can't even say what I need to say.
Never said quiet.
Like, what the fuck? What
you ain't said quiet, but go ahead.
If a nigga's gonna tell his kid, you watch The Godfather, the 3rd episode.
There it is.
Okay.
Now you talk.
And he was navigating his family. I gotta get on a movie basis with y'all niggas. He was trying to navigate his family into a legitimate business. He was trying to navigate them into something outside of the mafioso, drug dealing, gambling, running numbers world. He laid a foundation. And the problem with us, as black people, unfortunately, is that we do not navigate our families. We stay stuck into that same rut. We stay stuck in that same psychology. We don't build upon something. You have to hand the baton off to your seeds. Niggas ain't handing shit off. No, they just telling them, hey, this is what you need to do. No, nigga, you need to be in the process of doing it in order for them to get to that point.
True. Sometimes it's not within you, though. You just got to pass.
I got a question, though.
Nah, man, come on.
I got a question.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, just pass what?
Hey, let me just say this real quick, man. I agree with both of y'all. You know, just because somebody's not doing everything they're supposed to do, that don't necessarily mean that the child is gonna automatically fall into their footsteps. Because I can be a child and I see my mom come home stinking tired every single day. That don't mean I'm gonna automatically go ahead and go and do the same job she do and follow the same path she is. I'm going to evolve. I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want to be that. I don't want that for myself. I want something better. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find out and figure out what I need to do to elevate myself so I can not be in her position. But at the same time, I do agree with what you're saying, though. As men, we have to always be evolving. You cannot be stagnant. You cannot be complacent. You always have to try to elevate yourself.
Push.
Because when you do that, then your kids will see that, damn, my dad started off, coming home stinking and tired every night, working on the line, and now he running that whole plant. I want to be like that. You have to always set that example of always trying to evolve. So I get what you're saying.
You need to be the picture of what.
But that doesn't necessarily mean that your child will default and take the.
No, he's not going to default to become the lesser of what you're doing. But I'm saying you need to hand something off to your kid. No, you need to have something. No, you need to have something. You need to have something to hand off to your kid. Like when I die, I got life insurance. When I die, I got bank accounts with money. I got something that I'm going to hand off to my kid so he can take the baton and move forward to something. Niggas ain't giving their kids nothing when they die. They ain't giving their kids nothing to inspire to become. They're not giving them anything. They're just saying, yeah, this is what you need to do. Well, nigga, how I'm going to end up doing that, nigga, and you wasn't trying to do it. No. So you got this cycle of bullshit.
No.
No, that's what it is.
No, that's not true. Because simply based upon the fact that anytime you have that, see, that's a relationship that you build. If your child's gonna take your word for number one for granted, and meaning that, hold on, let me finish. I'll let you speak. So anytime they're gonna take your word and they're gonna take merit from your word, then there's a lot of trust that goes into that, to believing that what you're giving them is the most honest opinion of how they should progress. Some things are not within your reach as the man that you are. However, you've given them the tools and the ability to take it from where
what
you
tools?
began. That's what I'm supposed to get at. You're giving them the ability and the tools.
What are you giving?
Would you let me finish, sir? Giving them the tools and the ability to move forward. Better education. You've given them a better frame of mind. Sometimes you've even removed them from a community that has the most negative influence, that only perpetuates negative influence. Because when you're around a positive neighborhood that only has, and it's a difference when you come from a position where everybody's in the neighborhood on the block has a dope house, and I just use that as the worst case scenario.
So you got out the hood now?
No, I'm doing it a little bit different than that. I'm saying everybody, I don't even say everybody in the neighborhood works at Ford, to a position where everybody in your neighborhood is doctors. So what happens is a simple thought in your mind. It changes from what I should become as a plant worker to everybody in my neighborhood is a doctor. That's what I'm aspiring to become. But that's your father's, that's your father's. That simple move is the difference between what your ambition became as part of your life.
I give you that, but what you have done is you've gotten a little bit and you've become complacent.
You haven't become complacent.
No, you've gotten complacent.
Because
no, hold on. Individuals, they get complacent. They got out the hood.
Why is that complacent?
No, hold on, bro. You got out the hood. You know, you living.
Well,
you know,
carry up, damn you taking all damn day.
You living in the burbs. You doing well. You know, you got a good job. You know, you got a little 401k. That's nice. Congratulations.
So
now you think you've made it. Nice. Congrats. Good.
We get that. I already said
but now what you need to do is stay on the horse and keep paddling keep hitting that motherfucker on the ass and keep progressing forward. And that motherfucker still has momentum. Hold on, brother.
He's still growing.
That wagon still has momentum. So when your ass die off, your child ain't got some complacent horse in the burbs.
So you want them to stay forever?
No. I want you to have more than what I had.
Exactly.
So I'm showing you that I'm not only done moved out the hood, because I done took you down to the hood and I showed you the little shack that I lived in the fucking hood with your cousins and all that other bullshit. And we living in the burbs. But now I'm showing you that I'm trying to establish a business, that I'm investing money, that I'm buying stocks, that I'm learning about stocks and investments.
Who gives a fuck when a nigga 18? That shit he need to be doing on his own.
When he's 18, he don't give a shit about that. Because when you 70 and you still doing it. And you 70 and you doing it, and his ass is 35, and he's looking at what you're doing, and he's actually got the consciousness to want to understand that shit and want to become more and want to pick up the baton of the business, the pest control business that you started, or the grocery store that you started, or the catering business that you started, or whatever the fuck it is that you done started. Now he could pick that shit up and move further with it and get a restaurant or get more. See, the thing is that we get into this sense of complacency. And so that's what I'm trying to convey to y'all, brothers, is that we need to stop having this complacency of thinking that, hey, I done made it, and I done got into this position of, I don't have to do anything more, and I done laid a foundation, like you said, and I'm good, and my son need to just take this little house that I done paid off and we straight. No, that's not what the Rothschilds did. That ain't what the fucking Kennedys did. They took and they gave their kids something to build upon. And if you ain't doing more for your kids to build upon, you ain't really doing shit. And I'm sorry, that's just what it is.
Can I say it sounds like you literally saying, you have to do exactly what you want your kid to do.
No, I'm saying that you need to give them examples to be more than what you are, to be more. If you're not trying to be more than what you are at this very point in time, at this moment while we sit at this table, then what the fuck are you? I need to be more as a man. So how can I tell my son you need to be more in the first grade when I ain't trying to be more at 37?
Because if he can't see me being more from when last year,
He can't see that because he in the burbs. You in the burbs, man.
It's a particular way that he's already been built.
He can't see more.
Because
he can't see more.
We having that conversation.
You need to be more. No, the conversation don't mean shit.
It does.
The conversation don't mean shit unless you're doing it.
It does.
You need to be doing it.
So let's go ahead and put that back out there. So if I regress, it's the same fucking thing?
No.
Yes, it is. That's you saying.
No, because as a man, because as a man, you may stumble. As a man, you may stumble, but you still getting up. As a man, you may stumble, but you still get up, and you keep moving forward.
That's all he sees.
You keep moving forward, my brother. You keep moving forward. You keep moving forward. If I ain't got a bachelor's degree, damn it, I'm gonna go back to school and get one because I want you to get one. If I ain't got a master's degree, I'm gonna go back to school because I want you to get one. If I ain't got a business, I'm gonna go and get me a business because I want you to inherit the business. I want you to become more than what I am. And I can't expect you to become more than what I am if I'm giving you shit.
God damn.
Welcome to the mixed house. This is the circle, baby.
Hey, you know what? We got
this.
to bring it down about 3-4 notches because this shit damn near not even getting productive.
Watch this.
Let's
I'm
bring
with
it
this
down.
one.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm back, baby.
I'm cool. I appreciate
Calm
your
your ass
passion.
down,
Listen, I appreciate
Talking
your
that
passion.
bullshit.
Bro, I do. I appreciate your passion. But some of that shit you saying empty as that motherfucking cup. And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
I'm going to tell
Let's
you why.
go.
You brought up the Godfather, right? And you showed how he was putting together this foundation. You specifically said the part 3. He was doing what he was doing. He was putting all the pieces in place. Everything was looking lovely, wasn't it? Kids and everybody getting ready to grow. What happened to his son? They get through coming out of a play, his son getting murked. Because of not his action, but because of his father's action. Now, all that positive shit that he put in his son and showing him the right way to go, what did it benefit him? Because he wanted to be an actor. His father didn't want that. His father wanted to be a lawyer and do some other shit.
What did he eventually become?
Actor. That's what he did. He followed his own passion.
Was he a great actor? Was he great at it?
He didn't even get to be
Was
great
he
because he got killed.
Right.
But he was satisfied with
Because
the
his
man
daddy-
that he
because his
was.
daddy did what?
Hold on. He
But you
was
was-
satisfied with the man that he was with the choices he made, regardless of what
He
his
became
father...
all that he could
regardless of what
become
his father
as a man
put
before
into
he
him.
died. He became all that he could become as a man before he
Regardless-
died.
hold on, now
The
we're
thing
not- no,
is
what
that
we're talking
you
about,
need to tell your
Ivan,
children to
is that
become
he
more.
did not
If you're not
inspire for what
inspiring them to
his
become
daddy
more, how can
did.
you expect them to be more?
Because the word says you're responsible for you. Now,
Where
my
say
daddy,
that?
listen, when you
say
become
that
a man, you put away them childish things and do it. Listen,
No. You said
my
no,
father. Let me say that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about me. I
said-
can't talk about them. Let me
You
get
said the
real
word
with it.
said something
Let me
where?
get real with it. Let me forget the word. I'm gonna talk about me in life.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm gonna put it down.
All right.
My father was a police officer. My father worked at General Motors. You know what I'm saying? He provided a good lifestyle for us. All right. I got an associate's degree. Don't mean shit to me. I got an ability of hustle that helps me take care of 3 kids on my own and a $500,000 house and all that shit. I don't punch a 9 to 5 for nobody. Why? Because I believe that I'm a self-made dude. When my kids look at me and you ask them, what did your daddy do? My kids will tell you, my daddy handles shit. That's what he does. And I let them see it and I let them know it ain't easy at all. I grind my ass off.
What are you leaving them?
Right now, like you, if I die, my kids got a bunch of money coming.
All right, there you
But that
go.
money don't mean shit if I'm not here to direct them and rear them and what to do with
But
it.
you need to leave something, is what I'm saying to you.
I get
You're
that.
laying down a
I get
foundation
that,
for them
but
to
if
build
I
something
leave
upon.
them the mental stability of how to grow it.
No, you're
That's
leaving
more.
You're leaving more
Let
than
me-
that.
Listen,
That's the point.
let
right
me tell
there.
you, when you got a guy, and you can't, nobody can argue this figure. When you got a guy who takes a $9 an hour check from McDonald's,
Break it down.
says, you know what, I took that $9, I'm doing the right thing, but I'm watching everybody grow. So I take that $9 an hour check that brings me $295. go to my boy, grab a sack, turn that $295 into $5,000. And I go over here now, I can buy this car wash, start doing my detailing and whatnot. Hey, my little brother, I don't want you touching this. I had to do what I had to do. But what you can do is you can learn how to do this detail, which takes it and you turn it into graphics, which you take and turns it into building hot rods, which he takes and turns it into customizing cars. So now it's blew into this big thing. But I paid that price. I laid that foundation. But what I did was I gave him the mindset that don't let nothing stop you. He didn't see me do it, but he saw what I gave him. If you don't build that mind, all that money and that bullshit you leave is nothing.
Thank you.
Because wisdom, money
McDonald's.
without wisdom ain't shit.
McDonald's.
Now let Torres speak on it.
That's the key to it right there. I could take you from where we started at and bring you to where we're at right now, but at the same time, if I don't give you the lessons on how to get to where I'm at, it's meaningless. I could leave you whatever. You just a spoiled fucking kid at that point to me.
And that's what you sound like, a spoiled fucking
What lessons?
You feel me?
Hold on. Y'all remember that old commercial back in the 80s?
Which
with
one?
that nigga named Calvin that worked at McDonald's?
motherfucking Tyrese, nigga.
So Calvin went
That
from
was Tyrese, nigga.
Calvin went from I'll mix in that movie Coming to America. He went from mopping floors to washing lettuce to the grill to assistant manager to GM to owning his own fucking McDonald's. Yeah, and y'all talked about lessons. The lessons that you want to give. Hold on, man. No, hold on, man. If you want to give your kid a lesson, the best lesson that you can give your child is the experiences that you've gained while you went through your life. And that's the whole reason why a man needs to be in his son and his daughter's life, so that he can show them, or him or her, the stuff that he's been through, so you can take that seed that you've planted, and then you can take and you can prune it to become more than what you are. So if I'm not trying to become more, and I'm not experiencing the fullness of life, and I'm not growing as a person, then what does that mean? How am I going to tell my child to become more, and I'm not trying to become more myself, bro? All I'm trying to convey to y'all brothers, everybody sitting at this table, and any brother that's listening to me right now, is that if you are at a place right now and you feel like you've made it, you haven't. Because there's more that you can do. Just because, Will, you live in Frisco, you got a nice house, that's good. You can have more than that. Just because you live in Denton and you got a nice house, Mont, you can be more than that. Jay, you want to get a house, and Troy, you want to get a house, you can do more than that. And YG, you about to get your degree, you can be more than that. I'm working as a loan officer and I got 13 licenses. I can have more licenses than that. And the reason that I want to have more and become more is because I want my son to have more. Well, I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying to y'all is that niggas need to stop being stagnant and feel like they made it and then just preaching bullshit.
Well, that sounds
you need to keep
before.
progressing, and that train needs to keep moving, and that train is moving when you die. So when that train is moving and you pass off, your son can be the conductor of that train that you done passed away from.
That sounds
niggas ain't on that train and conducting it to do more.
But that sounds better than you.
Did I take it down enough?
That sounds better than what you said.
No, that's been what I've been saying. Maybe y'all niggas just ain't been getting it.
No, maybe you been saying it wrong.
And if I hurt niggas' feelings because of what I said, then so be it. Because the problem is that niggas remain stagnant and they feel like, oh, well, I'ma just tell him this and that and he should listen to what I'm saying. No, nigga, you need to be doing it while you telling them. You need to be doing it.
I'm with you on that. But then this here. This is my thing. If where I came from to where I'm at, for me, I have peace and I have joy. Who's to tell me I'm wrong for saying I made it? Because you ain't made it. You can't put no price on peace of mind. That's your personal opinion. If I'm happy with my wife, I'm happy with my children. My children are happy, and I'm cool with knowing that I don't have to depend on nobody else for nothing. For me, that's my success, and I've made it.
The difference between a nigga that's
I'm not gonna overtalk. I'm not gonna argue. But the thing is, what you're doing is saying that you have to achieve a certain level of growth continuously in order to make it. No, you don't. Because I can work my butt off and become a billionaire. But if I have not had the quality of time with my wife and my kids, I left them things, What if I pour it into them? They gonna say, Daddy worked
No. That's not what I'm saying to you. I'm not saying to you that you don't need to be spending time with your kids. I'm saying that you need to not think that you've grown to a point where you need to stop. No. Hold on.
I'm saying
no. Because y'all not getting what I'm saying. When you talking about because you brought up wealthy families, bro. You brought up the Rothschilds and the Kennedys and all of this shit and the Morgans. You bring up all of these people. The thing is that they continue to keep growing, and the difference between a rich nigga and a broke nigga is that a rich nigga don't stop working. A rich nigga don't stop improving. Rich niggas keep going.
Riches to one man is not riches to another.
No,
it's not.
No.
I would give up every dime I ever made in my life. See,
now you're trying to convey emotional riches to wealth. And that's not what I'm trying to convey. I'm conveying growth, bro, on all levels.
I literally made $1 million.
I'm talking about all levels of growth.
My kids that had a sanctity of having their mother here with them right now.
I'm talking about all levels of growth.
Listen,
if I'm not growing as a human being and improving on myself, what am I doing?
Hold on, watch this.
What am I doing?
I went from having all of those. I went from having all of that, bro, to a 600 square foot house that my couch wouldn't even fit in when shit went bad. But what my kids saw was that the love never stopped. They kids, man, they don't know nothing about the struggle. They know about the love. Your son know that when my dad picks me up and comes to my events, when my dad is there to read with me, when my dad takes me to a museum, that's what they see. They don't know nothing about shit. My dad just got his ass chewed about a loan that wasn't even his fault, that his job was almost on the line for. He don't understand none of that. He don't care about none of that.
Look,
being a man, for one, is not what it means to another. The value of a man is within himself, and that's that joy and that peace. So if $48,000 a year is my joy and my sanctity, bet. If my kid aspires to have $40 billion, good for him.
Look,
I'm not saying that you can't perpetuate.
When I die,
your personal thing, and let's deal with that, because we trying to impact men on the masses. Yes, let's all aspire our children to do better than we. That's just the unsung law of men. Everybody wants their seed to reach further than what they did. Real talk.
Talk about it.
So we good with that. But what I'm saying is, we can't be down on somebody because 48,000 works for them.
No, I'm not saying, bro. I'm not saying.
Listen to me. Let me
I'm not knocking a nigga making 48,000 a year. That's fine.
Listen to what I'm saying. But what I'm saying, if that's all that they aspire, and they're good with that. If they know that, listen, out of my 48, I can afford to take my kids on a trip.
So
I can pay the bills. We can go out to eat. Our cable is on. The phones is working. The car battery is charged. I'm good. I'm good.
So there is the problem. Now, I'm sorry, fellas. I look at my life as an individual and for my family like a company. And when I go to work, if I get 20 widgets, my job is going to expect me the next month to get 23, or 24, or 25. There's always improvement upon what I did previously. The problem is that we get to this point where we go and we make our 48,000 or 30,000, whatever the fuck you make. It don't matter, my dude. I'm saying that you need to be more. You need to continue to grow. It don't even have to be on a money basis. If you're going to church and you just sitting in the pew listening to the pastor, something needs to move you inside to want to be part of the deacons.
Right.
No, hold on, brother.
I'm with you.
Hold on. It needs to be something in you that makes you want to be the guy that be's audio visual. It needs to be something inside of you that makes you want to be the calendar person. It needs to be something inside of you that makes you want to be the greeter or the usher. It needs to be something inside of you that continues to make you to grow so that your son can say, you know what? My son wasn't just some nigga that was making... No, hold on. My son needs to look at me. Hold on. My son needs to look at me and say, yo, my dad wasn't just some nigga that was making $40,000 a year. He would go make his $40,000, work a little overtime, come home, sit on the couch, and grab a fucking beer. And that's it. And that's what a lot of niggas is doing right now. What are you inspiring your child to become? I need to be an inspiration.
We got you. What's up, Tori?
Yeah.
I understand where you're going,
Let
my
other people
brother.
talk, brother.
Nah, because I feel
Brother, let other
like
people talk.
y'all niggas ain't getting my point.
Nah,
Well, we
got you,
nah,
man.
Nah.
Motherfucking rush.
But
I
the
told
whole
you.
thing to it is, that's your motherfucking point.
Go ahead,
Everybody
Tori.
ain't gonna
Hey,
get
I'm
your
gonna make,
point.
well, that's fine. I'm gonna make sure my point comes across to whoever's listening to
Tori,
it.
go ahead, Tori.
Basically, what my brother is trying to say is keep progressing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep the train moving. I get all that, but at the same time, too, for me in my situation, I'm not gonna progress in life and have my kids living this lifestyle and thinking it's all easy and gravy. They need to understand the process that dad did to get them to this point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take them along the way and give them the tools, cause they are watching me. My girls are watching me. And for any man that got daughters, you are their first introduction as a man to them. You know what I'm saying? You the first person that's gonna date them. You the first person that's gonna spoil them. Everything. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the same time, I cannot let them think that it was all peaches and cream and you living in this nice house in this area. You gotta understand the motherfucking process that it took for me to get this way.
So how
And
they
I'm
gonna
not
understand it if they ain't watching you do it?
But I'm not gonna give it to them easy either and have them thinking that it's all just this way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta get out here and you gotta get your grind. I done laid the foundation. Now it's time for you to fucking run.
There you go.
But
You
you need to
understand?
be showing them how you run it.
But-
You need to be showing them
Yeah,
that you're doing
I'm-
it. If niggas ain't doing it in the process of their
Alright,
kids watching them, then what are they doing?
All right, so you spoke. You spoke. I speak. That's how we go. All right. So basically, and what I'm saying is, when we talk about, I talked about it before. We talked about cutting the cord. At a particular point, you got to cut the cord. You got to let their son live or their daughter live, because they have the experience they like. They got to get out there and do it. Now, if you're talking about from a personal standpoint, yeah, every man has to continuously progress to be better than they was the previous year. But at a particular age or a particular point, that child has to make their own moves. They'll see the positive in their father, but at a particular point right now, and I'll just use myself as an example. Right now, I'm in my 40s, my dad is in his 60s. If he do something tomorrow, it's not going to impact what I do tomorrow. However, one thing that's guaranteed is I love them to death. I hope that I instill in them that love and that foundation beyond whatever attributes I have, monetary or whatever moves I make in my life. So, and I think that I've set that foundation. And if I fail, I have to let them know that it's okay to fall. You know what I mean?
I'm a little different. I'm a little different. I challenge my son to be more than I am.
No, and I'm not saying I didn't challenge.
Until they take that shovel and they put that dirt on my casket, he gonna say, yo, my daddy kept challenging me. My dad kept challenging me because he kept saying, look what I'm doing.
Rush. And like I always say, you always say, a nigga say the sky is blue, and you say, nigga, it was 30,000 clouds in the sky. I didn't say that shit, nigga. God damn it. I didn't say I don't aspire for him to be greater. I just said at a particular point, he has to be the man that he will be, and I will do my thing as the man that I am.
You know
because we are individual as men.
In the old kingdom of Egypt, you know what made?
I don't give a fuck about Egypt and the old kingdom.
The old kingdom of Egypt.
I'm in America right now.
Even all of the great nations. All of the great nations of the world.
No great nations
all the great nations of the world. What made them so great is the fact that they always inspired to become more than the previous.
A nigga that lives in the past is in the past.
And the problem, this is the facts. If you don't know your past, you can't go future.
No,
you can't go forward. So the fact is that we need to inspire to be more than what the previous generation was. And the problem is specifically with our people. The problem with our people specifically is currently we are not inspiring ourselves or wanting to become more than where we are today. We think we've done made it.
What you think, Jay?
We out here living in the burbs.
What you think, that's the precedence at all.
No, it is. It is.
You spoke, I spoke, Jay.
Go ahead, Jay.
Look, man,
we gotta ask medical.
Like you said, man, everybody wants to have that next generation do better than the previous generation. But you can't just say that, if I want my son to be a doctor, that means I gotta be a doctor.
No, I'm not saying that.
You said that earlier.
No, I'm saying that you need to be.
Roll the tape back, damn it.
I'm saying
roll the tape back.
I'm saying that I'm saying that you need to be the best at what you can be. You need to be more. You need to fight to be more than what you are right now. You don't need to be stagnant. You need to carry the torch forward. You need to be more.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. Jay, say what you got to say.
I'm good, man.
I'm going to say this then.
Pass me that pinch.
I'm 50 years old, man. I had real talk, I agree, because that was my philosophy. At 44 years old, I went back to school. Not because I wanted to, but because I wanted to show my kids that, listen, if I tell you education is important, I'm going to show you it's important because I'm going to go back and I'm going to increase mine. All right, bottom line, on paper, that looked good. It sounded good. Mm-hmm. Was I ready for that shit? No, I wasn't. Real talk. I wasn't because I'm a man living life, raising kids. So I had to be real with myself and
What's
say,
your
you know
dream?
what? What's what?
What's your dream?
My dream is for my children to be healthy.
No. Not your kids. You.
Oh, my brother, if I die today, my dream has been fulfilled. Woo. It's been fulfilled. I had a beautiful marriage. I have very intelligent.
So you can down up. Well, then down up. Down up. Go ahead and lay in the casket. You don't need to do shit else then.
Listen.
What are you living for?
I'm living the dream.
No, what are you living for? The reason you're still alive today is because you're continuing to grow. You're not dead yet. You need to do more, bro. You need to do more. That's the problem.
Right now.
Niggas think, oh, I don't know. I'm good. I'm good. It's nothing else I need to do.
Listen, right now, keep it 100 about Will. Will is living for his children.
You living for the wrong thing.
I'm the example of what they have because I'm all that they have. So what I'm giving them is God, who gonna take them further than I ever could.
Thank you.
So I'm laying the foundation. Like I said, a lot of people look at me like I'm a deadbeat ass dude because I don't get up and go punch a 9 to 5 every day.
Nobody's saying you.
I'm speaking because I live it. I live it. I get it from the family members and all that because they don't know how I make my moves. They wonder. They look. But they don't know my struggles. They don't know my sleepless nights. You know what I'm saying? When you stand and you got to show children that God didn't make a mistake when he took your mother, that you can continue to grow and make it and go further. It takes a lot to do that. It takes more than a 9 to 5 and the will to do more with this and that and the third. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but dude, you talk about doing more. Doing more is securing my children to know that things that you don't understand don't mean your detriment.
All right, I'm with that.
That's what I'm saying. So for everybody out there, listen, men, be the man that you can be. Give it your all that you can about it. But when you find your lane, dig into it hard and run it till the wheels fall off.
There you go.
Dig into it hard and run it till the wheels fall off.
If that means that you
what are you doing if you ain't growing in it?
Hey, we gotta keep it pushing, man. I'm about to go. Let me go ahead and get this in real quick. We gonna get everybody's last words here in a second. Yeah, so if you like this shit, you want to come in here and yell and argue and spit and smoke and drink and cuss and act a funny fool, you come here and do it at the Mix House. You know what I'm saying?
Baby.
We're a full service recording studio in Dallas. You know what I'm saying? We got all kind of services here, man. Recording, mixing, mastering, custom beats, songwriting, jingles, podcasts, commercials for small businesses, and video podcasts such as the one that you're watching right now. So if you want some more information, man, just go to www.themixhouse.net for more information. That's mixhouse.net. So now it's time for that segment called I Said That to Say This, presented by one Kemonte Ballard, a.k.a. Monty, a.k.a. The Goon. What's up, brother, man? You got something for us this week?
Yes, sir, I do. I was thinking about this all week, and I got to thinking about something that happened to me years ago. I just wanted to share with the audience as well as my fellas. You know, I had years ago we was on a bus, me and my old lady. We used to ride the bus quite often. You know what I mean? Because we didn't have transportation. Talking about growth, you know, we've grown quite a bit since then. We were on a bus and we were on the 44 Oakland, as a matter of fact. But you know, the 44 Oakland passes by Parkland Hospital before it goes to South Dallas to the projects. So we were passing by parking. So we stopped at the bus stop. Big swole man, you know, he's waiting at the bus stop with this older man, and it looks like he was holding the old man, and it looks like he had him in a bear hug, like he was trying to hurt him. So everybody on the bus was standing up, and they was looking like, what the hell's going on? You know, obviously that looked kind of bad. So the old man wasn't moving. It was like he was kind of in suspension. And they got on the bus. The old man dug in his pocket. He paid for the guy to get on the bus. The guy sat down, and they sat down together, and the big guy sat by the window. So my wife, she steady tapping me. She like, you probably need to go say something. At the same time, everybody's on the buses. They looking at the guy the same way. They're like, hey, you probably need to go say something. He handling this old man. You know what I mean? Old man was small. And as we passing downtown, the green building, the guy's looking out the window. He's like, we just passed the green building. Past the waterfalls on the freeway. He's like, we just passed the waterfalls. So everybody got to talking. They like, man, is he high and yelling this man? And so they got to a spot, and the guy ran up there by the bus driver, and he was like, we on the freeway. And we just happened to overhear the old man telling the lady behind him, he was like, y'all gotta excuse my son. He's been blind his entire life, and we just got out of surgery, and it's his first time seeing anything. So he's almost like a child, and he's enthused about everything. And I said that to say this. You never know what somebody's eyes have been open to see as part of this world and what's new to them. Sometimes you got to be patient, and what you think doesn't have an explanation, there's an explanation to it. You just got to dig a little bit deeper to find that explanation.
That's what's up, man. So, everybody want to kind of give their closing thoughts real quickly? Anybody have anything you want to say?
I was just gonna touch on it right quick, man. I'm just gonna throw this one out there. Just another one from my mom's. Proverbs 22:6. Just to go back on the subject that we started off on, you know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all fathers out there, I understand the struggle, man, but just stay in y'all kids' life and just keep a positive images in their eyes. Proverbs 22:6. Start your children off on the way they should go. And even when they are old, they will not turn from it. And I'm going to leave it like that.
Yeah, man, let me just say, the narrative out there in America is that black men are absentee fathers and we're not there for our kids. But, I mean, we have the stats to prove that that's not necessarily the case. We're here, we're in our kids' lives, we're helping raise them, we're trying to guide them in the right way. There may be, disagreements on what that way is, but we're still doing our best. And, stop, listening to the TV, listening to the news, and letting that shape your outlook on life. And for the women, just give your man a chance.
Already.
Don't sick those people on them just because you think that's the right thing to do, or that's what you saw on TV, or that's what your sister told you to do. Make the right decision and make sure that your kids are there for your make sure that man is there for your kids and be there in their lives. So
I'm gonna back that up. The biggest thing is don't fall for the myths. Don't be a statistic. If you're gonna be a father, be a father. There's no manual to it. Ain't no book that show you how to do it. You just gotta dig in, dig deep, and do what God said is love. Love is the greatest of all things. When you say all, that means there's nothing behind it, so you can't get no buts and rebuttals. You love with the capacity that you have. And even if you wasn't given love, you have love within inside you that you can dig into in order to give to someone else. The media is going to show that we not doing, we less than and all that. Dispel those myths. Tear them down. Even though it's hard and it's rough, the word say, the man that worketh hard is given much. So dig in. It may not be fair. They might say life was going to be fair. But it can be great. We want black men to be fathers, to be men. So you got to dig back into that history we talk about and find out what it is that it takes to be that man. Because like I say, if you just wound up being the best worker on the line, and you worked every day, I know a cat didn't never miss a day of work. That was his legacy, and it was cool. But you got one that, aspired, and he became the president of the company. That was his legacy. As long as you got your pride in what you're doing and you aspiring and you loving. Because at the end of the day, for me, my legacy is that my kids know that they're loved by their father. That's it. And that's going to carry them further than any job or career or the rhetoric that's out there. So I just want black men to get back to loving their seeds and being positive for them. With that, we can do and overcome anything.
True.
And I just want to say, you heard a lot of different opinions, how people raise their kids. One of the most important things that you continually heard, though, is that we continually raise our children. Whether it be this way, that way, or in between, we continually raise our children. No deadbeats. You got to respect every man for their own opinion on how they continue to raise their DNA, because that's within them. How they choose to bring their child up, you have to respect that. So I respect every man's opinion. But even beyond that, at some particular point, you have to realize that you have to stand on your own too. And your father may not have been there, but his blood runs through you. And you hope that the blood that runs through you, you're able to cultivate. No matter whatever you thought was bad about him, you're able to cultivate that bad into good. And make that your personal responsibility. Turn that bad into good and be the best man that you can. Because it all starts within you to give to the world. That's all I had to say. Oh, and thank you, Daddy. I love you. Thank you, son, too. I love you,
Thank
too.
you to the Mix House for giving us a voice.
You got the last word. Go ahead.
I appreciate this forum, man. When we started the idea of this show over at the Treehouse, man, it's been a year and a half coming, man, and we've talked about it for so long, and it's so good to have brothers around that's just, positive and speaking their mind, and I could be a bit rambunctious and cut y'all brothers off, but
Really?
I'm a little.
Really?
We didn't notice.
I'm a little passionate about what I'm saying, and sometimes my words cannot come out clear, or individuals can't understand what I'm saying. So I want to clarify and let y'all understand is that we need to inspire ourselves to become more than what we were yesterday. Stagnation is death. Life is growth. No. I'm being real with y'all, bros. Because if y'all niggas want to sit there and be where y'all at right now, that's fine. But I know for damn sure I'm not.
Amen.
Stagnation is death. So if we continue to do what we've been doing yesterday, then we ain't doing nothing else. We ain't doing nothing. We not inspiring our children to become more.
Point.
Absolutely.
And when I'm telling y'all about growth, I'm not saying financial growth. I'm saying growth as far as living your dreams. Whatever the dream is that you had or that you have currently, you need to chase it and get it. You need to become more than what you are. Be all that you can be. And the main reason is because your children are watching you. Whatever you are today, you need to be more than what you are today tomorrow.
You need to be a motivational speaker.
Brother.
Take it for what it is. I'm just
Hey,
being
no,
real.
real shit though. You know what I mean? That's good shit. Hey, every brother wants to inspire to be more. We want the show to inspire to be more. With that being said, we hope all y'all listening. You know what I mean? And send in your money too. What's the address, Jason?
That's the Circle Show 360 at gmail.com.
We need y'all support. We
For more
need y'all
information,
support as we continue to
chop
grow.
it up.
T-shirts coming soon.
The circle.
Hey, hold on. One thing that we want y'all to really understand for them brothers out there that's doing quote unquote what they need to do in order to make it. I'm not gonna point a finger, none of us are. Pour into your kids. If you gotta shovel elephant crap to make sure that they eat, do it.
Do it.
But don't stop there. Like I said, you might be shoveling elephant crap today, but you might own the circus tomorrow.
That's right.
You know? Ain't nothing wrong with aspiring to do more. But keep your eye on the prize. Keep loving your kids, keep pouring into your kids, so that you might not have got out of that job with that shovel, but your kids had an inspiration to earn more than just having the shovel.
All right, and I want to say one other thing too. You know what I mean? When we're talking about daddies, we're talking about fathers. Like, it's more than just your biological. Sometimes you take fatherly advice and information from those that are beyond your circle that includes your bloodline. So gather what you can from everybody. you know, because that everything helps, everything counts.
That's it.
Already, man. You know, that's it, man.
Circle,
we
mix
keep,
house, baby.
We'll keep bringing that fire, keep bringing that heat. You know what I'm saying? We disagree sometimes, but we feel like this is a healthy forum, man, for us to get out that frustration and to discuss those things that's going on in our community.
Give us your
And,
feedback.
Yeah, give us that feedback, those comments. You know, continue the discussion amongst your family and your friends.
And as my boy Trey would say, that was tough.
What up, Trey?
What up, Trey?
Yeah, boy.